ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. It is January 7th, 2026. Tonight we're going to be talking about Dave Filoni taking over the Star Wars universe, potentially. Stranger Things, Calamity Gate, Conformity Gate, whatever gate. It's a gate, literally, and it's a conspiracy. Is it a Netflix conspiracy? We'll find that out. And then also, IMAX, how they're killing cinemas. It's Hollywood After Dark. You know, let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Thank you very much for being here. Late night, last minute, Hollywood After Dark, first one of the year. You know, I keep thinking to myself all the time, I'm not even making this up, I gotta find a way to bring it back. I gotta find a way to do it more often. You know, like going over to the other thing, right? Talking over, hey, on the other channel's fine. I like talking about all sorts of other shit. Today was a depressing day. All right, yesterday and today, if you are an American, today was a bit of the last 2 days were kind of depressing. And why were they depressing, you might be asking yourself? Well, not to wax too political, not to get too into the weeds on the political structures making up this country. Yesterday was J6's 5th anniversary, and anyone who saw that day when it happened, and anyone who's read about it since, pretty much knows what went on, how it went down, that it was an attempt to overthrow a peaceful transfer of power in our government. So, of course, the White House came out and completely whitewashed the entire thing. I mean, we're talking Tom Finn or Tom Sawyer Huck Finn levels of paint in that goddamn fence. And then today we had an ICE agent shoot a 37-year-old single mother in the face for simply trying to leave. That's it. Our country is falling to shit. It is falling to shit in so many ways. Never mind Venezuela, never mind Canada, Greenland, UK, Mexico. So I was thinking, what brings us joy? What brings us happiness? You know what I mean? What can I do to give a little bit back, to make people feel a little bit better? And I can't jerk y'all off. Lord knows if I could, I would. If I could take my hand and put it through your television screen, your computer screen, or your phone and give you a nice, fulfilling tug job, I probably would. As my way of giving back to you in the new year. Right? It may not be snowing outside, but you can still spill some white shit. You know what I'm talking about? Unless your name is Anthony Chabot, then you can just go ahead and keep making those goddamn shorts, you fucking weirdo. Or if your name is Donovan Martin, you're weird. Okay. Like, it really weird. Like, narcissistically bad. And then, of course, our boy Brandon, the brand man. We'll see if he pops up tonight. Not too sure. Not too sure. So, here we go. Let me just take a look here at the chat. What is going on, Anthony Beltry? How you doing, buddy? Also, thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate that. Same with Mo and Spherical Man. Thank you guys for being channel members. I know I don't do as much on here as I need to. This is not a live. This is a live. This is a live. I know people out there don't like the premieres. They're easier for me at the end of the day. Premieres are so much easier for me at the end of the day. But at the same time, it's very difficult. Okay. It is just because I work so fucking much, you know, 4 or 5 days a week. I put in nearly 200 hours last month. So it's just difficult to do things, especially now that I'm also, I have launched a channel, a secret private channel that is all for my short stories. You know, some of you know about that. Some of you will learn about it in time. I'm late because I was gooning to H-Bart's and Parallax's crushes. That's not true. I was gooning to my crush. And then I had to take a shower because of the gooning. I have it on that one. Sorry, buddy. What up, Droga? How you doing? Anyway. Also, thank you to Music Man for being a sponsor. Appreciate that. Mo here says, fuck ice. Spherical Man says, hey, you have a DM on the twits for me. Do I? Let me refresh that shit. There's a lot going on movie-wise. It's actually kind of cool to talk about. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, you're talking about the trailer. Yeah. We'll take a look at the trailer. Yeah. We'll take a look at that trailer. That's very true. It is a channel that I am not announcing the name. I'm not publicly pushing it, I should say. So is it more AI stuff? No, Mo, it's the channel you know about that you subscribed to earlier today. That's the channel. A secret channel called Monday and Mondays. No, honestly, God, that channel is so fucking dead. That's so fucking dead. No, I haven't done anything yet with AI. I should really I should lean into it. And you know what? We're going to fucking talk some more about that too. Listen, I know not everybody is a big fan of AI. I get all that. Okay. But we do need to talk about it in regards to Star Wars, because I do think there's an interesting element there. What is going on, Steven Ortega? How you doing, buddy? Welcome, New Year's. No, for movie news. No. My channel that I'm doing is for stories. Horror, thriller, and mystery stories underneath a pen name. I'm not really publicly putting it out there too much for a while. I'm letting it kind of build on its own. By the way, but we love your other channel. It's the same audience, Jess, and we end up talking about the same things. All right. Like, we end up talking about the same things. Like, you know how it is. Okay. Like, yeah, politics is good to talk about sometimes, but it's also like we end up talking about movies regardless. I thought we would just do a lot of movie stuff tonight. Wait, did I tell you my pen name is MJ? Steven here says, I saw Avatar 3. It was good. I really hope they make 5 and 6. Yeah, that is true. I think we will get 5 and 6. I mean, the fact that Avatar is in a couple weeks over $1 billion. I don't know. You know what? Some reports I've seen say it hits $2 billion. Some say it doesn't. Either way, it's going to be over probably $1.5 billion. It's going to be a good number. Okay. Home video sales, streaming numbers on Disney Plus. It's worthwhile to make. Now, you also got to remember that Avatar 2 and 3 were shot back to back. So that $400 million budget you see thrown around is also probably a mishmash of both films. And so as the technology gets cheaper to make, as James Cameron starts to institute artificial intelligence into his workflow, which is something I guarantee you he's doing, the movies will definitely be coming. And I for one, I've been playing Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, loving it. I just enjoy being on Pandora. I think it's a lot of fun. So here we go. So we'll reverse it and do Hollywood news and then talks a lot of politics. I don't know. No, I don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to we kind of already touched upon politics. You know, it was a bad couple days for politics. Parallax says here we're getting Jackass 5. That is true. It comes out, June 26th, I think I just saw the thing for. I think I just saw the thing for that. I'm excited. I don't know if I saw Jackass 5. I'll tell you this. I hated Jackass. The first Jackass movie, I wanted my fucking money back. And I saw it at a friend's house for free. Okay. But I wanted my fucking money back. But I'll tell you this, guys. I loved Jackass 2 and Jackass 3. I don't think I saw Jackass 4, but 2 and 3 were great. And I saw 3 in 3D because it was at the, I worked at the movie theaters at the time up in LA, or down in LA, and I was able to go see it for free. Let's see here. I have a lot of crushes, but for me, I love Trace Lysette. Who is that? Let me Google Trace Lysette. I don't know who some of these people are, man. Trace Lysette, American actress, 44 years old. Ooh, you going for that cradle robber, huh? Let's see here. She is an American actress whose most notable roles include Shay in the TV series Transparent and Tracy in the feature film Hustlers. Oh, she's you dirty dog, you. Okay. I see what you're doing. I see what you're into, Music Man. All right. Hey, man, listen, bro. You do you, man. I no judging. All right. Any man would be like, damn. Now, the question is, though, does she have her arcade stick? Because that ends up being like a deal breaker for a lot of dudes. So there you go. So unless someone actually died in the new Jackass, I'm not going to care. It's fine. They're fun. They're just fun. No Bam. I don't think Bam's going to be in it. Has Bam got his shit together? I don't fucking think so. I don't think Bam Margera has got his shit together. All right. I don't think Andor. I'm reading something on Twitter. God damn you, CJH, and your retweets. Here we go. Jackass 5 officially, let me bring this tab up, officially hits theaters June 28th. I was off by 2 days. June 26th. No, I was right. I was correct. Yeah. I mean, like, look, dude, I like Jackass. But it's definitely not something I'm going to see in theaters. All right. Let's see here. Bam is sober. Good for him. Look him up. He was in the Pro Skater 3 remake. Nice. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I never really cared for Bam, but I loved his dad. Phil was awesome. Phil died, didn't he? Do I think Dave Filoni will make any bad Star Wars? When we talk about that, I will definitely touch on that one there. Well, she said she's post-op, so either way, I still have a crush. Hey, man. Good for you. Good for you. High brown cinema. That sounds racist. That sounds super racist. Spherical Man. It's high brown. Could you imagine if that's what they would have called it? Like the antithesis to black exploitation cinema in the 70s? Because you get the black exploitation cinema, like Shaft, Fox and Brown. And then it's like, here comes Arnold, Devon Ware, or whatever. He's just a man out to become the top of his class. He wants to be a daytime stock trader on Wall Street. It's 1979. It's what they're calling the new art form, high brown cinema. Honestly, you know what, Tyler Perry. I would make the legitimate argument that Tyler Perry is high brown cinema. And I'm not even meaning that in a negative way at all. Like, Tyler Perry, that man has made himself an empire off of mediocre movies that people seem to love. Because if I'm going to quote Tom Hanks on something he said on Black Jeopardy on SNL, probably one of the greatest SNL skits ever, he says, if I can laugh and pray, that's a good thing. Don Vito died. Yeah, but wasn't Don Vito a pedophile? Right? Don Vito was a pedophile, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Oh, Droga here says, I've started the DLC in Frontiers of Pandora. Nice, man. I'm gonna drop the money on that one at some point. I think I'm gonna get because they have the discount right now for the 2 other DLC packs, and Fire and Ash, or whatever it is, the new one, which I hear is really, really good. It's still full price, $25. So there's that. Yeah, Don Vito was. I didn't know that till after his death. Yeah, really, nobody did. Yeah, that was a thing. Have I seen the trailer for El Guapo versus the Narco Vampires on YouTube? I'll send you a link to DM. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Holy shit. No, not it's what's it called? What's the DLC called for Frontiers of Pandora? It was let's see, Frontiers of Pandora DLC. God, if I could type. It is From the Ashes. Which released in late 2025 following the Skybreaker and Secrets of the Spires, offering new areas, stories, chapters, and gameplay updates like a third-person mode. I got to say this, though. The third-person mode doesn't really do it for me. Okay? It doesn't really do it for me. It doesn't really, blow up my skirt, if you know what I'm talking about. But I do enjoy the game quite a bit. Let's see. They waited too long for a Gollum movie. Ian is a national treasure. My God, he's old. Motherfucker's 86. That's 86 years young, you crusty Canadian bitch. All right, you leave my man Ian alone. What did Ian McKellen ever do to you besides give it his all? Okay, he gave everything. All right, everything. We're talking fucking Gandalf. We're talking fucking Magneto. Okay, we're talking about that fucking weird gay Nazi from Apt Pupil. Okay, he's giving it his all the time. Okay, it's more of an intro, but it's made by the guy who did Book of Life. Okay, I enjoyed Book of Life. I think Book of Life is better than Coco, to be honest with you. I think Coco is not a very good Pixar movie. It's not a bad Pixar movie. It's just not a good Pixar movie, So I think that that's something there to consider, is that, you got to keep that one in mind, that Coco is just kind of a derivative a little bit. Come on, guys. It is. It's a little derivative. Okay, it's a little fucking derivative of goddamn fucking, of Coco or Book of Life. Okay, way better movie too. My God, what a better movie. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. There you go. We don't talk ill of Sir Ian McKellen, motherfucker. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Yeah. CJ, you better LOL. Okay. You better LOL. If you were in America, I'd deport you myself. And I'd take the fucking reward money. You take that back, you're banned from all the taco places in your area. Joke's on you. I literally drive 40 miles to get one way to get the tacos that I want. I am not even making that up. I've done it twice in the last week. Again, not making that up. That is how much I like their burritos. I will drive 80 miles round trip to get them. Mac, I'm guessing you're an Encanto fan. Yes, I am. I'll be honest with you, Tony. At first, I hated it. The first time watching Encanto, I hated it. Maybe I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe I woke up, I just was like, my kids are watching. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I don't care. Fine, it's a Disney movie. Ooh, singing. Ooh, right? Like, ooh, it's a magic house. Girl loses her powers. Ooh, she never had any to begin with. Ooh. You know? And then, I'm not going to lie. We don't talk about Bruno, no, right? You hear that song and you're like, we don't talk about Bruno, but. And that but is the biggest but in all of South America, by the way. That but right there was like the song Sir Mix-a-Lot based his off of. Okay? That song had so much back to it that it would make grown men weep. That song is amazing, but that but right there, when she's like, we don't talk about Bruno, but let me tell you about this motherfucker. It was our wedding day, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky, not a drop to be found. But then Bruno walks in with a mischievous grin. Thunder. Are you telling the story, or am I? I'm starting me to, you know? Fucking that whole soundtrack is amazing. I love Encanto. I do. I love Encanto. I think I've watched it more than my kids. It's so goddamn good, right? It's so fucking good. And that's the thing, though. But my first time watching it, I didn't like it. You know, and that's kind of my thesis in many ways. That's kind of my thesis for when I talk about movies, how there is no bad movie. All right. Is like, it's one of those things where sometimes you just got to go in and give it another go. And I've done this with like The Last Jedi. I have tried, guys. I have tried. I'm not going to bitch about it. I promise you, I'm not going to go down that path. We've done it before multiple times. We've been here. We know it. I'm not going to do it. But let's be fair. Let's be real. Like, I've tried. I've tried. Okay. I've tried to find the good. Azteca here brings up 28 years later, The Bone Temple. I haven't even seen 28 years later yet. I need to watch that this week. The round at the end of that song is the best part. Here's a funny factoid about that little bit, Spherical Man. And I learned this from watching an interview with Lin-Manuel Miranda about it. So that round at the end, do you know what that round is called? That's called a madrigal. And what is the name of the family in Encanto? The Madrigals. Whoa. Right? I thought that was wild. I think that's one of the reasons why Lin-Manuel Miranda got a story credit, because he added a lot to that shit. God, I want to watch fucking Encanto again. Let's see here. The Last Jedi is good more now than ever. You shut your filthy maple-soured mouth. The fuck is wrong with you? Demon Hunter or Encanto? Who's better? Fuck, dude. Why put me in a corner? Why back me into a corner like that? Because I implicitly love both movies, but I'm going to go and give it to K-pop Demon Hunters. I do. I think I love Encanto. I would take my kids. This is true. I would take my kids to preschool, because that's how long ago this was. And I would play the Encanto soundtrack in the car. And then I would continue listening to it when I was by myself. And I have done that more than a few times with K-pop Demon Hunters. So yeah, it's hard. It's very hard. We're finally getting a 4K of Mortal Kombat 1995. Oh shit. I have got to, okay, that's one I got to get. So this month, Arrow has a sale on at Barnes & Noble, and they're releasing Snakes on a Plane and Under Siege. So I can get both for $25 each. But I kind of said, I kind of told my girlfriend that I was going to hold off on buying films for a while, because I'm just trying to get myself back. Like, you know, it was a rough couple months, And she's like, she's looking at me like, "You okay?" And I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like, there's some movies that I want, but they'll go on sale. And then, of course, they go right on sale. This sucks. Return to Silent Hill is an adaptation of the second game, which is on sale right now. Is it the remake that's on sale? Because I mean, I have games to play. Okay, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on that one there. Who said I was their favorite Mexican? I saw that comment there. Here we go. $3 Theater is my favorite Mexican and will always will be. Thank you. I mean, I'm Canadian, but thank you. Isn't Snakes on a Plane an Under Siege executive decision? No, but if they put executive decision on 4K, I'd want to get that too. All right. Because I like executive decision. I haven't seen Tron Ares yet, but yeah, it did not do as well as they wanted. A lot of things I think took a little bit of a hit, this year. There were things that were down. All right. We can talk about that, or we can, let me bring up the post here. Okay. So, I had a thing I put out on Twitter. All right. That I said that IMAX is effectively, killing, oops, what the hell? I closed it out. Is effectively killing movie theaters. Large premium formats are effectively killing movie theaters. But if you look at the numbers, it suggests the exact opposite. I haven't played any of the Resident Evil remakes, dude. I don't got time for that shit. That's not that it's shit. I want to play them. I just haven't played them. And they remade number 4, and I love number 4. So it's like, I got to get in on that shit. It's just hard to find the time. A lot of people blame Jared Leto for Tron Ares. He was one of the highlights from everything I've heard. The problem is that Tron is a relatively dead franchise. Okay, it's a dead franchise. Some of these IPs they just spend the money to keep them in the public conscience, hoping that something picks up. But it's just Tron has never been a big franchise. So what movie am I looking forward to this year? Mario Galaxy is up there in my top couple. Obviously Doomsday. I might go see The Odyssey. I might not. I don't know. I still haven't seen Dunkirk, Tenet, or Oppenheimer, and I haven't cared. Shrek 5 comes out 2027, man. Dude, you can't be talking Spanish to me. I don't know it. Hola, buenos dias, ¿cómo está, amigo? ¿Dónde está la casa pipi? Un burro sabe más que tú? Me llamo Matt? I don't really know much about that. Am I looking forward to Supergirl or He-Man? I mean, I'm looking, yeah, sure. I mean, sure, I'm looking forward to seeing them. I wouldn't say but they're not high on my anticipation list. Beyond the Spider-Verse is coming out 2029, I think. I don't know. That's the earliest I can think about that. Anyway, so here's the thing. Okay. So this year, all right, 2025 was IMAX's best year in history. $1.28 billion at the global box office. All right. So in order to really look at that number, that is a good number, by the way. That is a very good number. But it's also highly misleading in regards to the state of affairs. So for those of you who don't know, in 2025, global box office totals were $8.7 billion. So $1.28 billion on 8.7 is a considerable margin. But in 2024, it did $8.5 billion worldwide in 2024. So it was a 2% increase from 2024 to 2025. 2% increase, global box office. I can't find any actual data about how many movie theaters opened or closed in 2025. I can find maybe one, Alamo Drafthouse, which opened this last year, but that's really about it. And that was done in Mountain View, California, which is right in the heart of YouTube territory. So I think that was done because of everything going on in the tech industry. Okay. And so as a result of that, we have to then look at the fact that ticket sales overall were down 5% 2024 to 2025. But ticket sales increased in price. Large premium format prices increased in price. Concession stand prices increased in price. And people are choosing to go to theaters now in these premium large formats. Why? Because they're treating these movies like event films, which is maybe what they should be doing, fine. But when you start looking at the fact that everything is still way below pre-pandemic numbers, and the only way for them to offset people not wanting to go back is by increasing the price and turning it into more of a special event type situation, it really, really goes to show you that not just IMAX, but premium large format in general are a lifeline to box offices right now or to theaters right now, but that will eventually run its course. So that to me is why I say that IMAX is basically killing theaters. It's one of those like false hopes, right? It's a parachute, right now to help kind of slow the bleeding. But when people start to realize that they can't even go see, they can't even fill these theaters on an off day, when people don't want to go in and spend an extra $10 a ticket for D-Box, Screen X, 4D, or, IMAX, which has an upcharge of sometimes $12, if not more, depending on where you're at. It goes to show you that this will eventually run its course. And theaters will, in fact, then be in the same problem they are right now. Declining numbers, declining revenue, declining profits, declining everything. Because instead of just saying like, wait, hold on here, let's actually work to bring the middle class, the middle class, the working class, the lower class back to cinemas, to make it a weekly outing, to make it a weekly event, to make it something that people look forward to doing again, rather than doing that and really trying to make it something that's going to be, something that people want. You have more and more and more stories of people on their phone being disruptive, causing issues, and people just not wanting to go outside of a couple times a year. How am I scaring you, Jeffrey? I'm kind of curious. I'm generally curious how I'm scaring you. Like, feel free to let me know, because I'm very curious. AI and IMAX. Hey, man, listen, what pissed me off, though? Earlier this year, the IMAX in Tukwila, which is right next to the Seattle International Airport, was doing an IMAX AI film festival. And they were supposed to do 3 nights in a row, and I bought my tickets for when I could go, and they ended up canceling on me. And that pissed me off. Bring back dollar movies. I agree. However, the downside, though, is how much it costs to rent the locations, how much it costs to pay your employees, how much it costs to do all of that stuff. So having the low end, $1, $2 movies is difficult in this day and age. Not unheard of. If you are in a high foot traffic area, then you can make it work. In fact, the Regency Academy 6, the one that I used to work at in Pasadena, the one where this channel's name, $3 Theater, came from, they're still operating. I think movie tickets now are like $3.50. So, the AMC does tell you that if they put the movie you want to see in a different theater, they move your seat. That's really cool. And here's the other thing too. Probably one of the things I would say really keeping theaters open is the AMC A-List and the Regal Unlimited plan. I have a Cinemark Movie Pass, but that's more for casual people because it's really low. Like, it's the cheapest value out of all 3 options, but you only get 1 movie a month. And so, but really it's kind of, so I'd be $350 theater. Yeah, that'd be tree fitty. And the fucking Loch Ness Monster would be my fucking logo. There we go. Let's see. Considering the later narrative, Paramount and Netflix is godly. Is it perfect? No, exactly. Yeah. With Netflix, Warner Brothers continues to exist. With Paramount, Warner Brothers ceases to exist. Oh, sorry. It doesn't tell you. Well, that's fucking lame. Listen, you guys got to understand. I don't want movie theaters to go away. Okay. I'm not trying to sit there and be like, movie theaters are dead, that they need to die. Let streaming take over. Okay. I can't sit there and be a proponent of physical media in the way that I am and want theaters to fucking die. That's not the case. I love going. You guys know that. But there's a reality that especially people on Twitter, don't understand about theaters and about the economics of theaters. And looking at these numbers that go, oh, but they did $1.28 billion in 2025. That's their best year ever, because they shrunk the options. There was a big shrinking of the options. I think a lot of people are untrustworthy of D-Box. When I saw Avatar Fire and Ash, the middle section of the Cinemark XD, the one that the seats I was going to sit in with my dad, they took 2 rows out of the center, the prime seats, and they removed them at normal and they put in the D-Box. And then they charged another $9 per ticket on top of that. And I could feel the seats vibrating with gunfire and explosions. It was kind of cool, but I'm at the same time, like, at the end of the day, nothing about that enhanced my experience. It didn't lessen it, but it didn't enhance my experience. And remember a couple years ago when AMC said that they were going to start doing tiered pricing on like the good seats in the theater? Well, they didn't do that because of backlash. So now they just tore out those seats and they replace them with D-Box, 4X, Screen X, whatever, right? Those kind of premium upcharge seats for the experience when you're watching the movie. They took the best seats in the fucking house and they got rid of them in order to charge you more money. And that's part of their upgrade, their $1.2 to $2 billion upgrade that Regal, AMC, and Cinemark are doing around the world with their theaters. So here's the fucking reality of it that I need you and one specific dipshit in Southern California to understand. They want you to spend more money. And if you can't spend more money, they will blame you for not spending that money with them, rather than trying to find ways to make it cheaper for the average person to fucking go. Not all of us live with our mom who pays all of our bills. Some of us have families to feed. Some of us can't afford to go all the time. Movies were always a big deal for families to go to, but families now are not going multiple times. Repeat viewings of families are not happening multiple times. Not as much as they used to. And that has a lot to do with the fact that the cinemas are making it impossible to go. It's not just the studios. The studios are absolutely to blame because they're also like behind a lot of this because they want their fucking money. But they also know that movie theaters right now are simply just an advert for digital, where they make more money with the overhead, with the lack of overhead. Hey, what's up, Sean? What you doing, man? You want to come on? I don't know if you can come on or not. If private equity gets involved with theater chains, it will be over. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, and I think that's the next step, to be honest with you. Like John Campia owns me. Cool. Can you pay for my my house in Canada then? Any chance Gina Carano could return to Marvel or Star Wars? Well, I mean, definitely not Marvel. I don't think she'd come back as Angel Dust, although I did like her in the movie quite a bit. And look, man, I give Gina Carano a ton of shit for what happened, but I really genuinely liked Cara Dune. I genuinely fucking liked Cara Dune. Hold on. You are so strange and unusual, Matt Jarbo. Thank you. I would have it no other way. Not one goddamn bit. Not one fucking bit would I have it any other fucking way. I will be unusual and strange until the end of my days, because that's where I am the happiest. But anyway, going back to this, sorry. I don't see her coming back as Cara Dune outside of maybe a cameo in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Maybe a cameo with that, but that would really be about it. And I'm not even saying it's going to happen. I'm not suspecting it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm saying if they did do it, I'd be like, okay. Right? I do. I think if they did do it, that would be okay. Do I think that Gina Carano has changed her mind on MAGA? Fuck if I know, dude. Look, I'm not trying to be mean to the woman here, but she's not that bright. She doesn't think for herself, man. And therein lies a big problem with the fandom menace. A big problem with the fandom menace. Okay, you can't come on behind out chat. Cool, man. Why do I hold on? Why do I block people who disagree with you on where? On PB? What's PB? On Facebook? I don't really block anyone on Facebook. I don't really block anyone. Why do I? Where did I block anybody? I mean, I'll unblock. I don't give a shit. Let's see here. Strange and unusual was what Matt does best. Goddamn fucking right. Gina Carano's family is worth $700 million. She ain't hurting. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. When she's like, "Oh, woe is me. Oh, I'm so," it's like, dude, girl, like your family's loaded. Like you're loaded from all of that shit that from your wrestling days. You're good. Brandy Love and Rochelle Ryan haven't, my lord. It's difficult stroking to dumb. Jesus. It's not that difficult, dude. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to beeline your vision, right? Your okay, you know what? Here's what I want you to do. I'm just going to be direct about this, okay? Here's what I want you to do when it comes to Brandy Love. I shouldn't know this, but I do. Okay, I want you to go on the P-Hub, okay? And I want you to look up Brandy Love Harry Potter. Okay, you should be able to find one where she has sex with a dude who is dressed like Harry Potter. Now, the reason why this specific scene is interesting, and the reason why this specific scene is one that I'm mentioning, is because if Brandy Love ever just gets you upset because she happens to be a Donald Trump supporter, go find that video and just beeline right for her fucking pubes. Because it's a good-looking bush on that particular video. I think it enhances the scene. It's artistic. It's designed well. It's crafted artistically. You know, for that, whoever's drinking from that well is going to be feeling really good and really limber by the end of the day. I'm just saying that there's the one you look at. Okay, that's the one you go back to. Okay, that's the one you go back to. Why do I despise all conservatives and love all liberals? Oh, brother, I do not love all liberals. Oh, no, I do not. I don't despise conservatives either. I don't like MAGA. There's a massive difference there. I don't like MAGA because MAGA conservatives are idiots. They've been lied to. They've been completely fucking ripped off. They've been treated like they're nothing more than just piggy banks. They're played as useful idiots. They have had nothing that they can really point to policy or legislation wise to back up any of their fucking beliefs. The guy that they worship as the fucking next coming of Christ can do literally no wrong, despite the fact that just last year he was found guilty of 34 fucking felonies and a litany of other things. Like, it's an average person looks at Donald Trump and goes like, wow, that guy's a dick and a dumbass and a piece of shit. But MAGA's like, oh my God, I would just love it if he would fire a fucking snot rocket from his dick in my mouth. Like, that's all they want. Let's see. My father-in-law is a Republican and hates Trump. Didn't vote for him in the last 3 elections. Yeah, well, I had a lady the other night that told me kind of something similar. And I said, I think you're a dying breed. And she goes, I think so too. So I don't hate poor people who voted for him. I feel bad for poor people who voted for him. Because here's the thing when it comes to voting for a conservative. You are voting against your interests when you vote conservative. Always. Always. They do nothing to benefit the lower, middle, and working class. Nothing. And it's my same complaint with these fucking capitalist companies that are pushing for the way the theaters are running these days. Because they won't meet the audience where they are. So instead they want to upcharge the audience to where they can't even be able to get into these fucking to get into these movies anymore. That is true. Trump does love the poorly educated. That's very true. Plot twist, all politicians are just regular people with a fuck ton of money. That's not true. That's not true. They're not normal people. They should be, but they're not. Let's see here. MAGA say they aren't gay, but they care so much about a person's genitals. Oh yeah, man. They're really hard up on that tranny dick. I swear to God, man. They love that. They would love to go into a women's restroom and inspect the genitals of every woman there. And they wouldn't even be turned on by a normal vagina. All right. They'd be like, oh, pussy, 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 pussy. But they're looking for that cock. They are just 100% there, just like thirsting for that dick. So yeah, it's pretty gay. And if they just came out and admitted it, it'd be a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like, nobody cares. We live in a pretty progressive society for that shit now. You could be gay and conservative. Sure, it's weird, but you can do it. MAGA loves a crash grinder. That's true. Yeah. Let's see here. I enjoyed Trump at a time only because it was opposite of the at the time over the top wokeness. I would have supported anyone. See, this is where I agree and I disagree, right? So it's like for me a long time ago, I really did hate like the woke left. I still really don't like the woke left. Okay. I'm progressive socially, politically, okay? But my two things that I want are education and healthcare. Okay. I don't want to dwell on this shit. But it's like, let me explain how I would go about this if I was in charge. I would take $50 billion out of our fucking defense budget, and I would then put that into education and healthcare, providing healthcare, universal healthcare for the populace, as well as tuition-free education with a focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics programs in order to make sure that our population is not only well educated, but also healthy. Because the best defense we have as a country against what's coming, whether that is AI or China or Russia or Iran or whatever, is a well-educated and well-trained and healthy population. That's what I would do. That's what I would say. But because there's so much money at play, and that's what it is. So again, explain to me why conservatives always seem to thrive under Democrat policies, but then people vote against their own interests all the time. You know, it's like, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, you're pissed off that food and housing are still overly expensive. Yeah. Hey man, my house doubled in property value. I paid $280 for my house, and it's somewhere up around like I could probably get about $600,000 for it, which is great. That's equity, baby. But at the same time, like, where the fuck would I move to if I sold it? Jarbo for president. I'm just saying, listen, man, I wouldn't be that bad of a president. I trust me. There are things I would definitely go after. That I feel would be like, I would be conservative on alcohol. I would be less conservative on weed. In fact, I would pretty much say weed greater than alcohol. I think if you cut down on alcohol, you'd see a massive decrease in deaths, especially on the roadways, and also people who drink to death. No one has OD'd and died on weed, as far as I know. I would very much target casinos, and especially given how they are, a dredge on the society that they are in. They bring down everything, wherever they're around, because they target the addicted. They ply them with alcohol. They know drugs are on the property. I'm not saying they let it happen, but I'm saying that they are fully aware that it happens. This is also me having worked security at a casino, and one of my best friends was a security guard. Actually, kind of was like one of the higher ups in the security department at the casino. I would definitely target those. I would definitely try to make investments in the arts. As well as push the Department of Education to bring back home ec, bring back workshop, wood shop, auto shop. Start teaching life skills in high school that you need to survive. How to do your fucking laundry is one of them, right? Like how to cook eggs, how to balance an actual budget, how to not be afraid of balancing an actual budget. Like I would bring a lot to the table on that. I'd work with the Department of Education very heavily on that. Start talking about common sense economics, common sense education. I mean, fuck me, dude. There's so much that like I think could be done to make sure people are up to speed where things are technology wise, right? But also like teach them skills that they need to live. Because I'm sorry, you can't put that shit on the parents. They're fucking not doing it. And it ain't a fucking fear of AI. I'll tell you that shit right there. People like, oh, AI, you're not. Fuck, people always find a way to be lazy. Anyway. Let's see here. At least with both Jake Paul and Andrew Tate last year, the good news is in a sea of bad news with this awful government. Oh yeah, Jake Paul getting his jaw broken is always good, and then Andrew Tate's a fucking Asshole. Yeah, again, and take out the manosphere as well. Toxic masculinity just destroys so much. Shiny here says cooking eggs is a start. LOL, I always fuck it up. Yeah, dude, I fuck it up too. I always fuck up scrambled eggs because I don't use like milk. I'll use like I used vanilla creamer once. That was bad. I'll use water for the most part. But nowadays, yeah. But I do like doing like over easy and sunny side up and things like that. So who the hell? Oh, what? Somebody. I never fucking understand why I get random friend requests on Facebook. Like, I never answer them. I'm sorry, I don't. You need a recipe for ice. Yeah. Yeah, you live in Georgia. You absolutely do. See, I live in Washington. It's 38 degrees outside right now. I could probably just take something out and let it sit overnight, and it would probably turn into ice. Not Georgia. You're in fucking North Carolina. My bad. NVIDIA is a $5 trillion company now. AI keeps booming. There's this weird idea about AI in the bubble, and I don't think it's going to fucking happen. Largely because we are in an AI cold war with other countries. And that's the thing, like the Luddites on Twitter never seem to understand. They never seem to understand that we are legitimately up against China. And China kind of fucking like knocked our dicks in the dirt with DeepSeek. When that came out like a couple of years ago, or like, was it last year? 2024. It came out 2024. DeepSeek is like a pretty powerful model that's all open source, and it runs like way fucking faster and way cheaper and like way like less resource intensive. And it just knocked our dicks in the dirt. Like it was so big when it dropped. Like Sam Altman's like, we got to make sure that GPT-4 is coming. We got to make sure that all this announcement's happening so people know what's going on. And like so they're all trying to one up each other, but they've also all got the government, like, and they're also buying from each other, which is so weird at this point. Like they're working on deals. They're buying from each other. I mean, it might be propping up a little bit to like protect in case there is like a bit of a slowdown. But at the same time, the government won't let that happen. It just won't let that happen. We have way too much invested into it. It's definitely going to be taking over the infrastructure of a lot of stuff. And I get why people are a bit afraid about it. But at the same time, it's like, this shit's been coming for a while. Where the fuck have you been? Let's see. Anthony Beltry here, member for 45 months. And he says, Avengers Doomsday trailers are great. I agree. It's weird to me that they are hyping up this particular franchise, like this particular thing, as fast as they are, right? Like right now, like it's as early as they are. They're very much doing this right now, which is kind of crazy. Like the movie comes out in like a year. So like what the hell's going on? I'm kind of definitely intrigued to see when the first trailer comes out. Like I think the first trailer is going to come out in front of Mandalorian and Grogu. That's what I think. The brand man and his sock accounts. Is he here? Have we seen him? I haven't seen him yet. He's actually kind of been pretty good. I haven't seen much about the brand man recently. Rational says, I think the bubble will pop, but the dip won't be as big as people think. I mean, it's entirely possible, but you got to understand too, these corporations have been plotting for like a soft recession now for years. So that's one of the reasons why the layoffs happened. So we'll have to wait and see. But I largely think there won't be as if there is, I agree with you that it won't be as bad as people think. AI scam calls are scary. Yeah, they are. It just, the thing about AI is that it's going to get you to think more critically because you don't know if you can trust it. And that's a good thing. That's a very good fucking thing. All right. Like, if, do your research. Don't just listen to people on Twitter, Donovan. Don't just do it. Don't listen to people on Twitter. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're all fucking hens in a goddamn hen house. They're clucking up a goddamn storm. Why are they doing it? Because that's how they get their feelings. That's how they get their power. That's how they get anything. Biden passed the CHIPS Act for us to build chip factories in the U.S., and Trump is pulling back all the funding, shooting ourselves in the foot. Yeah, well, Sean, we know this. All right? Like, we know this, that Trump and his cronies and his lackeys are retarded. Okay? Like, Corky from Life Goes On would have run the country better. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. It's pretty sad. Andrew here, who is this? I believe you are a conservative, aren't you, Andrew? You come across as one. Saying here the lying from Trump and DHS was criminal today. Yeah, oh yeah, dude. Yeah. This is actually, like, I hate to say it like this, but if I was fucking Tim Walz, dude, this saved Tim Walz's ass politically. Because of that whole fucking Somali fraud thing, which we still have no idea how true that is. There's been a lot of like questions that do need to be investigated. But for the most part, there's also a lot of people that are fucking it up because they're trying to like get money. And so Tim Walz can come on in and just fucking obliterate ICE on a gubernatorial level and everything else. File fucking like impeachment. I think there's impeachment articles being drawn against Kristi Noem over this as well. Tom Holman, I think, is also going to be in the crosshairs. And if it gets to be real bad, Trump will just let him go because, he's not going to back him and shit. But he'll give him federal pardons so they can't be fucking jailed. Like, he'll do that. Everyone who works for him right now, barring his sudden and unfortunate death from whatever reasons, heart attack, heart disease, too many fucking Big Macs, I don't know. Like, barring any of that shit, like, Trump will give everybody a pardon. So that's just kind of how he is. Let's see. Hold on. Wait, what? The film better be a 3 hour and 45 minute from what I've heard. What are you talking about? Damn it, I missed I hate when you guys when there's like 4 different conversations happening in the chat. Jason Schreier said GTA 6 may get another delay. If here's the thing, if GTA 6 gets a delay, that is Rockstar assessing the current state of the economy and realizing that we're basically in for a recession. And if that is the case, if that is what's going on, they will delay it until it's over, because they're like, why release the product that people aren't going to purchase? Except people will always justify entertainment. So people would probably sell their children to get a copy of Grand Theft Auto 6. So let's see. 7 companies on the stock market hold 45% of all the wealth. There are 500 companies on the stock exchange. The 7 companies are chips and AI. Yeah, it ain't going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere. There you go, man. There you go. The anti-AI people are coming for AI music. Now, they've been kind of there for a while. Once it moves away from art because it becomes, something people enjoy, right? It becomes something people enjoy doing. And that's a lot of what's happening with this as well. It's one of those things where it's just is what it is, Can you talk to characters via AI? Or you can talk to characters via AI. Well, like in what game? I know somebody did this. They put an LLM inside of Skyrim, which made it really interesting. What I'm waiting for is I think Elder Scrolls 6 is going to have a chat bot inside of it. I think you're going to be able to put on a headset and have conversations with your companion, right? You're going to be able to tell your companion what to do, where to go, and you're going to be able to communicate with people, walk on up and be like, hello, good sir, what is the news today? And they'll be like, hello, traveler. We have heard forth of a story from over the hill down yonder. A dragon rages. No one knows why. Many dead. We need you to go and kill it. Oh, yeah, all right. What kind of dragon is it? I don't fucking know, man. It's a fucking big dragon. Yeah, but you say it's a big fucking dragon, but like what kind of big fucking dragon? It's a kind of dragon that's the size of a dragon. Whatever. They can do it way better than me, right? But they're going to be able to do that shit. You're going to be able to be like, all right, like go loot that body over there, Can you have sex with your companion? How detailed will it be? Because you got to have the fucky. I'm sorry. You got to have the fucky. Trump is now allowing NVIDIA, Bezos, and Elon to build chip factories. I mean, yeah, well, okay, I guess we need to. Let's see here. Oh, Doomsday is apparently 3 hours and 45 minutes. There's no way it will be 3 hours and 45 minutes. 3 hours, 5 minutes tops. It will go a little bit longer than Endgame, which was 3 hours and 45 seconds. But it won't go as long as Avatar Fire and Ash. So yeah. Imperial. Hable Sky. What? Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, Kathleen Kennedy is nowhere near as bad a person as the Phantom Menace makes her out to be. That's very true. AI music is actually not trash, Sean. Some of the shit I put together for my other stream, if I don't know if you've ever heard it, it's pretty based. Pretty base shit. Sounds pretty fucking good. You just got to play with it for a while. So pay attention and you won't get lost in the conversation. Hey, man, there's like 4 conversations happening at once. All right? I'm trying to look at the fucking chat. The new Jarbo D&D channel. Yeah, I've never played D&D. Would love to, though. Well, yeah, go ahead and send me the link. This file. Check it out. Jarbo would kill Vegas. So Jarbo would kill Vegas? Oh, yes. No, actually, no. It wouldn't be Vegas. It would be, this is going to sound terrible. It would be probably, I would kill Vegas and all casinos. And all casinos. But Vegas, here's the thing, man. Vegas is already kind of dead. Okay? No Donovan in the chat to argue with Sean. Surprising. Very surprising. Super surprising. That is kind of crazy that Sean's here and Donovan isn't salivating at to yell. Anyway, he's here in spirit, I guess. He's probably actually here too. But that's just because he's, crazy. Let's see. Jarbo is basically Caesar's Legion. He would destroy New Vegas. I like New Vegas. Look, man, I just don't like casinos. Okay? I just don't like casinos. I think they are a fucking dredge on society. I think that they are very much used as a way, I don't want to say to launder money, but I do think there's a lot of criminality attached to it. Oh, there's this channel called Oni Plays. Oh, I've heard of that guy. That's done videos prank calling characters via AI, and they're funny as fuck. To check that out. Jarbo wants New Vegas. He'll be Mr. House. Yes. Yes. Well, hey, now that I finished Stranger Things, I can get on Fallout, right? Which sports betting is a true plague. Oh, dude, yeah. Make no mistake about that, dude. Here's a hot take. Professional sports needs to be abolished. Like, we as a country need to come together and fundamentally remove football from everything. Football is bad. It is so bad. Like, not only how it treats its players, it chews them up, it spits them out. It rewards people for never getting an education. It actually actively rewards overlooking the education of the children that are being brought up in the system to play for professional baseball or football. They have to worry about all the physical injuries. And then, like, a lot of the times they're broke within like a year or two after getting out of the NFL. It is a very, very parasitic system. And it's one that I would argue, given the predominant nature of the people that are in the NFL, it's highly racist in how it targets its players. Let's see. I've never seen the point of going to a casino and losing all your money. Or if you win too much, they break your fingers. Well, the idea there is that it is the dopamine. It's the what if, right? Like, if you go to a casino with $50 and you blow $50, is it any different from going to a bar and blowing $50 or going to a strip club and blowing $50? Like, you set out to lose that money one way or to spend that money one way or another. That's not so bad. But when it's like, I got my paycheck, let's go to the casino to cash the check, and then I'm going to go spend the money to go and to try to win more of it. It's like that addiction level that sets in. And I saw so much of it when I worked at the casino. Matt Jarbo and Mikey Sutton are my dream team. Dude, Mikey Sutton's been dead for a year and a half, for 2.5 years now. How can Mikey Sutton do anything? That guy, he's gone, unfortunately. As long as we keep wrestling, I'm fine with getting rid of sports. I mean, it's fake, so yeah. I mean, people still get hurt, but it's, it's like largely scripted. I'd rather spend $50 to look at titties. Damn fucking straight. You know why? Do you know it's also been scientifically proven that looking at tits calms you down? There's a health benefit to going to a strip club, way more than going to a bar. Yeah, going to a bar, yeah, fine. You'll have the social aspect of it, right? You might do some karaoke. You might throw some darts, you know? You might meet a nice lady and like make out a little bit, but then you find out that she's made out with every other guy there. So you have to question whether or not you were making out with like Mike or Mike's dick. You know, you never really know. Was that just bad breath or was it cum? You don't know. You know, you don't know. Because she doesn't use, like Listerine strips beforehand in between the makeouts. It just happens. But I think strip clubs would be better. At least you're employing a lot more people. Why do I think many people goon to anime titties? Oh, man. People goon to anime titties because they like titties. Okay, a lot of the times, let's be fair, it's Oedipal. Okay, all right. What were you raised on? Your mother's tit. So it's like you're going to be, most of the time, you're attracted to it because of an oral fixation that you got when you were a child. It's not a sexual thing with your mom. It's probably not even really a sexual thing. Well, the older you get, right? Because the boobs kind of equal like virality. You know, it's kind of like a chick with wide hips got them birthing hips. You know, and like some dudes will look at that as being like, ooh, she primed to just have a baby pop out that chute. You know, and like that's the thing, they like that. So it's like, the curvaceous woman, healthy body for mating purposes. Right? Healthy titties can feed babies and shit. It's part of our upbringing. Right? But I just like to punch me in the face with them. Just smack, 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 smack while I motorboat. I have weird kinks. Definitely after dark content. Jeffrey, this isn't your first time here. Now, I wanted to talk fucking movies. I invited Chris the Bipolar Jedi to come on tonight, but he did not come on tonight. So, we're kind of going where the audience goes. Because if I don't go where the audience goes, they start talking amongst themselves, and then I get lost in the conversation. So really, I'm just held hostage by you cucksuckers because you're fucking out there talking about your Avengers Doomsday links and, I don't know, AOC's boobs. Let's see here. Chris Chan took that the wrong way. Allegedly. Okay, no, I mean, how you saying titties relax people? Titties relax people. Yeah, boobs relax people, man. Think about it. Did you suck your mom's tits when you were fucking a baby? Right? Did it? Right? That constant puts you to sleep. Did the rhythmic motion of you lapping on that nipple, drinking some of that boob juice when you were a child from ages 0 to, I don't know how old you were when you stopped breastfeeding, but you'd breastfed for a couple years, multiple times a day. Most likely. So when you think about things from your childhood that like bring you comfort and that relax you, having like a stuffed animal or like a pillow you can hold on to when you're stressed, that might help out. Having a special blanket or something that you liked as a kid that you can kind of recreate to kind of give you that same kind of comfort when you're an adult because it makes you feel good. That's something that could happen. So you're telling me that sucking, that titties aren't going to be the ultimate thing that you can just look at and go, oh man, I love sucking on that. I love resting my head on that. You could hear your mom's heartbeat when you got your head on her titty, especially her left titty, which is always a little bit bigger than her right titty because it's near the heart. So it's a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger. So it's a little bit softer and you can just kind of put your head right there. Your mom's watching a movie, maybe watching a movie she showed you as a kid. Shows you one of her favorite movies. Maybe she's showing you Princess Bride when you were just a wee lad and you're resting there on your mom's chest and you're just like, oh, such a good movie. Oh, mom's titties are so comfy, so warm. Man, I'm hungry. Back to laying down. I'm just telling you, dude. I'm telling you, it is a biological function to love titties. So I was never breastfed. Okay, so in your case, it's the opposite. You want to be. You feel neglected. So the anime titties are a fantasy because they're so big, And so when you're a baby, the boob is the biggest thing you got. It will crush your face. It will suffocate you. You never got that. So really what you need is you need to find yourself a big-breasted Latina lady and just go to town. Don't call her mommy, though. That weirds her out. Only on HWAD. Are you part Scottish or Irish? Not, I don't know, fucking Italian, maybe? Therapy session with Jarbo. Yeah, it's just going to be tits. I wear a fake pair of tits like Blackadder. It's be like, right, mates, here today on tit therapy. Need you to sit down, strap in. I'm going to be your fucking guide to relaxation. All right, you there, Dennis, come over here, sit on my lap. All right, we're going to cuddle you in a wee bit of a fetal position. You're going to rest your head here on my fake tit. Don't worry. I heat it up in the microwave. It's 98.6 degrees, okay? And you're going to feel the soft rhythmic movement of my bosom as I breathe. It's going to feel very good, very nice, like you might have missed something when you were a child. It's okay. It's a breakthrough therapy. And if you feel the need, you can suckle on the nipple. It's okay. It's not real. But I did pack it full of apple juice. So you're going to get a little wee taste of titty apple juice. All right. Who else but Jarbo? That's why you guys are here. That's why you guys are here. Okay, what was the super chat you left? Okay, here we go. Filoni's the only one that has an extensive understanding of Star Wars lore, and he wants to expand outside of the Skywalker timeline. I agree and I disagree with you. So here's what we know about Mr. Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is being rumored. We talked about this a while ago too, by the way, so that's where it's kind of funny. So Matt Filoni, no relation to Dave Filoni. So Matt Filoni over at Puck had put out an article a couple nights ago that was saying, like he's hearing that Dave Filoni and I think like Lin-Wen Brennan is her name, is going to be kind of taking over the leadership over at Lucasfilm, similar to James Gunn, Peter Safran, which, listen, I just want to point this out. I actually think that's a better idea. Having one person handle the business and one person handle the creative is a really, really good way of going about it. Okay. It's a really good way of going about it, because then you got a person who's actually like, working on it. And that's their only job, is to work on the continuity, to work on the content, to make sure it's as good as it can be, and everything else. Okay. What do you mean? And yet nothing on the ice killing. I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream. This is a movie stream. This isn't the Matt Jarbo show. Although we spent 20 minutes talking about tits. So yeah, it probably is via proxy, but, it's terrible. The ice killing is terrible today. I don't like any of it. She was a wife and a former wife, widow, and a mother. Anyway, at least it's not a German accent. I could make it a German accent. Yeah, und the Dennis, come over here to sit on me. This is fucking Irish. Anyway, being gay, this is very painful listening. You'll know you'll love it. You know you'll love it. Anyway, okay, so going back into that, where was I? So so doing the DC studio side of it, I think it's a good idea. Having the people. Kathleen Kennedy was always, I don't think was ever meant to be this long. 14 years in tenure. Like 14 years almost of running this particular company. Like that is too long of a time, especially given their fucking theatrical output now in 6 years, that there's been nothing in 6 years. So like what happened? I really do feel that if Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was going to end up, but did better than it did. And 2023 was just a rough year. I think that would have been her swan song and she would have left. But I don't think it did. I think she wants to end with a banger. All right. I think she wants to leave with a banger. So I think that's Mandalorian and Grogu. Okay. That's Jon Favreau directed. Okay. We know he's a studio guy. He's a company guy. He'll get it done. Okay. So we know that. That's no problem. Then, of course, you've got, Dave Filoni, I think, working on the story as well. I don't know if he wrote the script, but he's working on it as well. You're going to get a wrap up to the Mandalorian seasons. Okay. I think they're going to learn from their season 3 mistakes and the Book of Boba Fett mistakes. Even though I do enjoy overall Book of Boba Fett and all 3 seasons of Mandalorian. I think we're going to get a really nice conclusion to everything that's going to open up the door for what's going to come next. Now, I do hope it's more Mandalorian. I do hope it's more of that. All right. I really do. I think the work that they did with Mandalorian season 1 and season 2, and even the scope of season 3 was great. The Bo-Katan shit was fucking awesome. I mean, like, hell yeah, like, let's go. Do I think that Giancarlo Esposito is dead? The Moff Gideon is dead? Fuck no. No, he burned up wearing a fucking fully Mandalorian armor. Dude, that shit's fucking, Beskar is going to withstand fucking fire. He's alive. Is he going to be in the movie? I don't think so, but I think he's fucking alive. Let's see here. Oh, Filoni wrote the script. Okay. Mando and Grogu will make 450 tops. It will make 450 tops domestic, not international. It's good. Dude, come on, Sean. You are way off base. Okay. Come on. Mandalorian and Grogu opening up on Memorial Day weekend, a full year before Star Wars turns 50, is going to definitely do more than 450 million worldwide, because this isn't a Solo situation where people are like, I want it to be Harrison fucking Ford. Okay. This isn't that situation. What you've got here is you've got 6 years of top tier grade A Baby Yoda branding. We saw the trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu in front of Zootopia 2. My kids lost their shit at Baby Yoda. Okay. Like, they're saying Grogu now, but it's like they lost their shit at Baby Yoda. Okay. I have seen more kids rocking Baby Yoda fucking merch than anything other Star Wars related in that age group. I've seen adults rocking it. I've seen them rocking Mandalorian gear. That is where the Star Wars fans are now. Okay. As great as Andor was, and it truly was the best show of 2025, hands down, that no one's rocking Andor merch. Okay. Like, Ahsoka merch isn't really happening. The fucking, what was it? The Acolyte merch never happened. Okay. But when we talk about Mandalorian, we talk about Grogu, that had merch. People are legitimately into that stuff. And that broke out into the fucking mainstream. So there's no way it's going to have as diminished of a fucking return than $450 million. Okay, if Solo crashed and burned to just around 400 million, Mandalorian and Grogu with a 6-year head start, and the fact that Grogu itself is a very popular character, dude, nah, I think you're absolutely wrong. The Grogu footage the Grogu footage isn't done yet. You know how trailers are. Did you not see the leaked shit out of fucking Star Wars Celebration? That looked based. The trailer with Grogu is showing more of the funny bits, I think, for the families. But we haven't even gotten a story trailer yet. We've just gotten a teaser. So we get him like trying to like, get the food or get the money from Sigourney Weaver, who's, replacing Carl Weathers. May he rest in peace. Fucking sucks about Grief Karga. Wait, no. Is he in this? Did they film anything with him before he died? I honestly haven't paid much attention to the making of this movie because I really just want to go on in and enjoy it. Am I the only one that noticed that American Dad that had their own Grogu before Grogu? I mean, Roger is a character like that. Sure. But not really. Grogu was swimming and talking about, and he wasn't animated. I'm excited for that. Then Boba Frick is going to be in it as well. So they are tying it to the sequel trilogy. I know I'm not the biggest fan of that myself, but I always enjoyed Boba Frick. So I think we're going to get some good shit. I think, like, you hear that music, dude. That music is going to fucking like fire up soundtracks. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with all that shit. Again, though, I think Filoni is kind of the right guy. But it does kind of bring over to a bit of a different situation. And I want to talk about this post I saw yesterday on Twitter from a guy named Manabite or Jeremy. I forget what his real name is. And so, yeah, he like this guy, he got into some shit a couple years ago, something about like harassment. And he left Twitter. And I think he went to like what was it? The NeoGAF forums or whatever the fuck it is. Before they and then he's pretty conservative. That's what we need to remember about him. He's pretty conservative. So anyway, he was talking about this yesterday. He made a really good point. Okay. Saying here, the fandom menace is about to pivot, and you need to be ready for the rewrite. If the reports are true and Dave Filoni is finally taking the reins from Kathleen Kennedy, prepare yourself for the most cynical pivot in the history of YouTube rage bait. For years, these channels have built an entire economy on a simple narrative. Filoni, Favreau equal good versus Kennedy equal bad. It was an easy sell that printed money, but if Kennedy leaves, their villain evokes into thin air. Peace is bad for business. Outrage pays the rent, which is, again, we all know this is very, very, very true. So mark my words, the same channels that hailed Dave Filoni as the chosen one are about to rewrite history. They will turn on him overnight. They will scour his recent work for woke infractions. They'll claim he sold out and that he will try to gaslight you into forgetting who this man actually is. Here's the reality that they will try to erase. Dave Filoni isn't just a fan who got a job. He was George Lucas's Padawan. This wasn't corporate mentorship. It was years-long masterclass. During the production of the Clone Wars, Filoni stood at George's right hand every single day. That is true. I mean, that is very effing true. That's not like some fucking like nothing burger, man. Like flat out. Like he was absolutely there. Like all the time. Remember he came over from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and he started working with George Lucas when he came over. And they've already gone after Dave before for like Ahsoka, I think, but the Acolyte wasn't him, and so they couldn't really jump on that. So here we go. We aren't just talking about directing tips. George imparted a theological understanding of the Force to Dave that isn't written down in any story, Bible, or wiki. Filoni holds the oral history of Star Wars. He knows why George made certain choices, the spiritual and mythological bedrock of the galaxy, better than anyone alive other than the maker himself. There's a reason George Lucas trusted Dave with his legacy before he sold the company. He knew Dave understood the heartbeat of Star Wars, not just the laser swords, but the morality, the balance, and the spirit. When the rage baiters start their new narrative, they will try to paint Filoni as just another Disney suit. Remember that he is the only person left in that building who learned the ways of the Force from the maker himself. Don't let them rewrite the facts just because they need a new villain to help keep the clicks flowing. I mean, it's true. He definitely did a lot. All right. And Filoni, but here's the thing with Filoni. I just want to point this out. He's not without controversy. Okay. Those guys were saying early on that Cara Dune was woke because she beat up Mando. That is very true. But Dave Filoni has a lot of love within the general Star Wars fan base. And I think that having love in the general Star Wars fan base is going to help him here quite a bit. It's going to very much help him quite a bit as the transition is made. But the transition isn't going to be happening probably until after the movie comes out. And that is just, like how Hollywood works, basically. Like, Kathleen Kennedy is going to get her swan song. She's going to get her bona fides. She's going to get her, she's going to get, her accolades, everything, right? They're going to roll out the parade for her when it's time for her to go. She should have already left probably a long time ago. But they kept, I think part of the thing was, is they kept realizing that, nobody wanted the job, right? Like nobody wanted the job. And I do think, as weird as it is to say, I do think that James Cameron and Peter Safran, their collaboration and how that has definitely worked, has helped solidify the idea of a creative head and a business head that work in conjecture together. And I just feel like that is probably going to be the best thing. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, it's going to be very interesting, to see where things go as time goes on. I, for one, am here for it. I am excited to see what a new leadership will bring to Star Wars. Will they be able to give us something that is worthwhile and that lives up to the name of Star Wars? Or will they be stuck trying to appeal to the fans that Disney has manufactured with the sequel trilogy? And I don't want to poo-poo the sequel trilogy entirely. Okay, I mean, I have said repeatedly for years now, a decade now, that I unequivocally love The Force Awakens. I can put that movie on any time of day. Yeah, James Gunn. What did I say? I must have screwed up. Yeah. So, well, luckily Feige didn't become the head of Lucasfilm. We dodged a bullet. No, I think if Feige would have become the head of Lucasfilm, we would definitely be in a different place. But there was just the momentum of Marvel is too valuable for Disney to let Feige go on to something else. Until they really feel that they've got somebody else in charge that can run it. Because Feige wouldn't go, by the way, Feige would never go and split the responsibilities, right? He wouldn't do that. I mean, of all things considered, Kevin Feige is the most valuable producer in movie history. Like, no producer comes close to him. No producer has been able to accomplish what he's accomplished. And so he'll leave when he's ready to leave. But I think at the same time, they bit off more than they could chew with the TV side of things and the movie side of things, and they're still reeling from that decision. And so, they had greenlit a bunch of stuff, they had okayed a bunch of stuff, and it didn't land, but they still had all this stuff kind of ready to go. And so, they're gonna find a way to make it work now. But it's again, it's like Feige is not overseeing every one of these shows, but his name is attached to it as if he is. So the movies, again, like Captain America: Brave New World, not as good as some of the other Marvel films, but a serviceable entry. I had a blast watching it. Thunderbolts was hands down one of the best fucking movies of the year, especially dealing with mental health and a bunch of B-tier characters that you grew to really fucking care about. All right. Fantastic Four was a well-made family film, but at the same time, Fantastic Four, in my opinion, is a largely dead brand. And it kind of goes back to the idea of some of these IPs being like ready to be left behind. Like, you don't need them. You don't need to keep bringing them back, right? Like, do we need more Transformers? I hate to say it, but the answer to that is no. No, we fucking don't. Would it be great to get a Transformers franchise that actually like makes money and is competently made, that actually has that ability to like bring the audiences back like the other ones did? Sure. Yeah. I mean, look, man, Transformers 1 is a great film. It hits all those beats and it hits them perfectly. Transformers 2 had a big problem because they started shooting that movie during the writer's strike of 2008. So, Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci, they weren't able to really work on that movie because it would have been a violation of the rules. And so basically their first draft, or one of their first drafts, is what we got. And we got stupid shit like fucking, like Autobot Heaven. That was weird, but that was in the movie. And then they gave us, the Dark of the Moon, which was the most visceral and violent and grown up Transformers movies. I mean, you got the bad guys rolling through fucking Chicago, just vaporizing motherfuckers, and then of course we've got the other two. And at that point, Michael Bay, I think, just checked out and took a paycheck, which is unfortunate. I think that they should have gone and got somebody else. But then we get Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and then it's okay. It's okay. It wasn't great. It was all right. We had a good G.I. Joe tease in that thing. Yay. That's never going to come to fruition because I'm never going to get my G.I. Joes, am I? But that's, again, my whole point. Some franchises need to die. Okay? Like we got a He-Man movie coming out this year. I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to see what they're going to do with it, but it's also like He-Man. You're not going to renovate He-Man. Like She-Ra Princesses of Power, that's gone off Netflix. They did the 2 seasons of Masters of the Universe with Kevin Smith, and we got the full story there, and that was really good. But that's probably going to be pulled off when the expiration date happens. We're never going to get the physical media of that, despite the fact that they put out those toys. Or did they put out the Blu-ray? I think they put out the Blu-ray of the seasons. They did. I'm wrong. Yeah. They put out the Blu-ray of the seasons, of both seasons, which I think was like 16 episodes total. So really, like, it was just one season. They cut into 2 parts. And I wouldn't mind getting my hands on that at some point if they put it out in 4K. So He-Man will only do well if it's epic like Conan or Lord of the Rings. I mean, dude, I would love to see a Conan come back. Like, I would love to see Conan actual, like, like playing up all of that stuff, like the old pulp serials, and really like lean in to that entire world would be cool as shit. We are getting Red Sonja on 4K in a couple months, and that one is a purchase for me. I love that. 40-year-olds reliving their childhood when it's Gen Z going to cinemas. Yeah, that's actually one of the greatest points I think you've ever made, CJH. Like, legitimately, that's one of the greatest points you've ever made. Gen Z are the ones going to theaters. Gen Z are also the ones that are fucking up theaters because of the way that they've been acting. But they're the ones that are going to theaters. And it is largely an issue. Yeah, so 40-year-old men living their Gen X, or not even that, like mid-40s. Into the Gen Xers are kind of living out their childhood a little bit. When the Gen Zers are going. I don't know how you make He-Man cool for young kids. I don't know. It's got like one of the weirdest, like almost like forced like gay aspects ever. You have a muscle-bound dude wearing just a loincloth, basically, holding a big honking sword. It is just like with like the gayest bowl cut. I mean, Will Byers had a less gay haircut than He-Man did. I'm 50. Do you want to see a He-Man movie, Sean? Are you the target demographic? Is it going to Netflix or is Sony doing this? I think Sony's doing this one, right? Okay, you also said here that you never watched the Momoa version of it. So here's the thing. The guy who directed the 2011 Conan the Barbarian, his name is Marcus Nispel. Marcus Nispel did the 2003 remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The beginning was done by Jonathan Liebsman, who went on to go do Battle LA, which is a movie I will fucking defend. I actually watched the two films for the first time not too long ago, and I enjoyed both pretty immensely. Nowhere near as good as the original, but they were fun in their own right. And I also enjoyed the 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel that was on Netflix. Don't fucking kill me for that one, but I did. But then also Marcus Nispel went on to go direct Pathfinder with Carl Urban and Clancy Brown. A great premise, full of style, so much style, but very little substance. And then he went on to go direct the reboot of Friday the 13th from 2009, which also had the same problem. Tons of style, almost no substance. And then he went on to go do the Conan the Barbarian movie, and that had the same problem. So I've always said that Marcus Nispel is a fantastic visual director, but that motherfucker doesn't know how to tell a goddamn story. And I think he was a music video director too. So that's kind of the big problem there, right? It's like, I can make it flashy, I can make it good, I can make it look good, but goddamn it can't tell a fucking story. I mean, Zack Snyder was also a music video director, but he can tell a fucking story mostly. Okay, I do think that when it comes to Zack Snyder, the biggest problem that he has, and this is going to get me in trouble with some people, the biggest problem that he has is his wife Deborah. And again, nothing against her, super sweet lady, but she enables some of his worst actions as a director and storyteller. Okay, it's like she's got to rein him in on a couple things. He needs another producing partner that can sit there and like more or less like act like, all right, bro, like I get what you're doing here. Maybe let's not do that, you know? And as much as I enjoyed Rebel Moon, as I've said before, I've never recommended the theatrical cuts or the PG-13 cuts. I've always said wait for the unrated director's cut. And I felt those were two very solid films. I enjoyed watching both of them. That 6 hours went by super quick. And I stand by my opinion on that one. The MCU started copying Snyder's visuals lately. I mean, the MCU is trying to up its game visually. There was a lot of complaints back in the first couple phases about it feeling very homogenous, right? Felt the same because they shot with the same cameras and they shot for the same consistency because it was a connected universe. I mean, that's not, you have to look at the MCU like the Infinity Saga was like the first season. It was like 21 movies, like 21 episodes in a season. And then they kind of moved away from that with the next phases because they're like, ah, shit, we got to add in all these more characters and we can't really continue the show. So you treat it like a fucking anthology, and then you bring everyone together, which is what they're doing. All right. Sorry. Okay. I enjoyed Rebel Moon. Yes, I did. Sean here says, I only watched the director's cuts of Rebel Moon. I didn't connect with them. But Sean, buddy, old pal, you said the same thing about Avatar. I don't know. I know you finished it. You finished The Way of Water, I think, right? I know I bullied you into watching it. I feel kind of bad about that. When I saw your posts about that, about how you're going back to watch it, I showed that to a friend of mine, and I just said, see, bullying works. No, I'm glad you engaged with it. Even if you don't like it, I'm glad you tried. Okay. It's not for everybody. Rebel Moon isn't for everybody. But you got to admit though, man, that fucking barn sequence in the slow-mo was lit. That was lit. That was intense. That was good. That was good. So we can blame Zack Snyder's wife for the failures. Yes, you bullied me. Goddamn right I did. Goddamn right I did. I own that shit. I will acknowledge that shit. All right. That's what I do. Unlike other people, I bully you out of love. You have to understand that. I bully you out of love. Okay. I won't sit there and like re-upload your videos and then be like, about them with complete fucking lack of context or any other kind of, genuine argument to make. But I bully you out of love. Because I do. I respect your opinion. I do respect your opinion. That's one of the reasons why we like each other. I think the story, there was problems I did have with the story, but I did enjoy it, more overall rather than just some of its parts, Trying to get my Crystal Light packet because I can't have any more caffeine. It's almost 1 a.m. I slept for like 11 hours last night, so I'm kind of awake. And I was like going to have a bit more caffeine, but chose not to. It's like, I got to try not to. So, all that good stuff. Okay. I know it's tough love. I did like the whale stuff in Avatar 2. Reminded me of Star Trek 4. All right. There's a lot more whale shit in Avatar 3. Yeah, Jeffrey, my sleep schedule has been so fucked for months. And it was just kind of taking its toll on me. And I was like, that's why I didn't stream last night. The other night I wrote like 2 of the short stories I've been working on. Got those done. Ended up being around like 10,400 words. And then today I edited I recorded and put out the audio for one of the stories. And that one was like 32 minutes. A lot of stuff there. Hot take. They do a 6th indie film, retcon out Mutt Williams being dead, bring back Short Round, and do one last big adventure. I would be down for that. I would be down for that. I am okay if they want to give us another indie film. But I think but I'm also okay leaving it with where it's at. I loved Dial of Destiny. I think Sean and I, again, probably like only 2 people out there that really, really liked it. I have talked about it recently with some passengers, and I keep telling them that it's basically just a spiritual sequel to Temple of Doom, and then go give it a watch. And so I love it. But again, I would also not be opposed to seeing another Indiana Jones movie, because I love Indiana Jones, right? Like, that's just me. Let's see here. Command Unit for 5 bones. Thank you, buddy. Warhammer 40K's 40th anniversary is next year. So my guess is we'll get a few trailers for stuff coming out in the next year. Probably. I mean, Henry Cavill's stuff seems to be moving forward, but I don't know what's going on with it. I have no idea what's going on with it. I think that's, I really feel like we're going to be getting some movement on that one there. Okay, good. It's Rational, like Dial of Destiny. Mo, I love Dial of Destiny. Sean, I love Dial of Destiny. Here we go. H-Burst, this is probably one of my favorite things. Jarbo bullying me into watching Avatar worked. I will bully more people into seeing it as well. That is true. That is very true. I did bully him. I did bully H-Barts. I would say I was being very loving, though, about it, too. Harrison is just so old. I know. In fact, Sean, I think your number 1 most viewed TikTok is about how old Harrison Ford is. It's actually pretty true. I'm not making that up. It's actually pretty true. So, mention Dial of Destiny and Wild Benson appears. Nah, he's been blocked for years, man. He ain't coming back. Dial of Destiny is overhated. Absolutely. So is Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'll say it. Jess here says, I'm going to Billy Matt into watching anime. Again, I'm not against, look, man, your name made me fucking cry. Okay. Your name made me cry. And that guy is working on a new movie. I'm very, very excited for that. But like Demon Slayer Infinity Golden Butt Plug, I have no idea about any of that shit. So some of that stuff's hard to get into. Let's see. H-Barts here says Dial of Destiny was really good. I don't know why it's hated. Because people don't like... Well, really what it is, though? Is that people were going after it for being woke. That was a big thing. Whatever, man. Helena was fine. Did I like the 2022 Hellraiser film on Hulu? I haven't seen it. You know what I did? I'll tell you this. I have not seen any Hellraiser movie all the way through. But I do own the Quartet of Torment from Arrow Video, the first 4 Hellraiser films in 4K. I don't know where it's at. It got moved. I was wanting to watch it, and it got moved. I need to go buy a shelf. You guys have no idea. I need to go buy shelves, because I don't have any right now, to put all my movies on. So I know where they're all at, so I can watch them when I want to fucking watch them. Because part of the things I want to do this year is watch more of the movies that I buy and go in and watch a lot of my physical media. I came across my copy of Swordfish, and I watched it when it came out, because I bought the Arrow 4K of Swordfish. And I was like, man, I want to watch Swordfish again. I fucking love that goddamn movie. But I did hear good things, though, about the 2022 Hellraiser. Crystal Skull was pretty good to get to the last 10 minutes. I disagree. I think the last 10 minutes of that movie are really interesting in regards to how it plays into the mythos, right? So you figure, Raiders and Temple dealt with Western theology, whereas, Temple of Doom was Eastern theology. Then you have Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which is, South American theology. And then Dial of Destiny was, Greek mythology. Right. So you had different areas of exploration. So it's not all just indie versus Christ related objects and shit. What would have been really interesting if they would have dove into more, instead of the Western theology stuff, diving into the Middle Eastern, the Arabic myths and everything else. What about Indiana Jones versus a djinn? That would be interesting. Some kind of story about that. I actually have a story that I wrote. I'll probably turn this one into a a short horror story. But I had this idea from many, many, many years ago. I was thinking of like a low budget horror story, and I wanted to tie in like a djinn, but not like Wishmaster djinn, right? Not Wishmaster, because Wishmaster is okay. I like Wishmaster for how corny it is, but not like that. And it was a story about a woman whose uncle works in the Middle East collecting antiquities, because like you do, but he dies mysteriously. Therefore, all of his items get sent to her. So one of the items is a old amulet. And, but it looks like a piece of it has been broken and glued back on. Therefore, it ends up falling off, and out comes a djinn or some kind of equivalent demon. And it starts tormenting her, but only she can see it. And she starts just going insane. And ultimately, it just completely drives her nuts. So it's up to her son at the end of it to kind of figure it out and save her and whatnot. And I think it was always a good concept, right? It needed to be fleshed out, obviously, but I think it was a good core concept, and one that I'll probably turn into a fucking short story. Because again, like, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because Sean is listening. So when I get enough of these short stories that are done, and I can put them out there in Amazon KDP, and I can put them out there on YouTube and everything else, I'm going to bully Sean once again. This time I'm going to be like, yo, bro, can you give me like your contact info of your literary agent? I'm gonna hound you, brother. Won't be for a while, but I'll do it. What the fuck? What? Explain to me what the fuck. Oh, that I haven't seen Hellraiser? The 1987 Hellraiser is pure cinema. Yeah, no, I hear it's good, but like, I just haven't seen it. All right, Sean, I fucking love Swordfish. Hell yeah, dude. Here's the thing about Swordfish. This is gonna sound kind of crazy. Both Matrix and Swordfish, produced by Joel Silver, watch them kind of back to back, and they feel like they live in the same world. It's very interesting. But I really love John Travolta in that movie. I love Hugh Jackman in that movie. I love Vinnie Jones in that movie. Halle Berry. Like, I mean, that movie is just, Don Cheadle is awesome in that film. It is just such a fun movie with a great twist at the end. Also, the opening of that movie, where they're just having a conversation about Dog Day Afternoon. John Travolta doing what John Travolta does, chewing the fucking scenery, getting ready to smoke a cigarette, drink a fucking latte or espresso, looking like fucking Vic Vega before the gunshots. And then just in that fucking, was it that, not soul patch, but that goatee. And then just like walks out across the street and there's all just cops there. Dude, Dominic Sena did such a great job on that movie, as well as Gone in 60 Seconds. And then I'm not also, California from 93. But then, like, his last one was that Whiteout one with Kate Beckinsale, and that one didn't do as well. I have the comics for that, though. I got to go and read those. But I love those movies. Yeah, cracking into the database scene was epic. That's right. The fucking gun to his head and the chick giving him head. That was great. I fucking love that movie, dude. Has anyone here? Here's the, have you guys even seen? Well, I know. Well, I don't need it. I'm gonna ask you for it later. I don't want to maybe I will. I'll hit you up. You know what? Here, I'll send you a link to the channel that I created. Where's my phone? I'll text it to you later. But to see, because I have the audio recordings of the stories. You DM me an AI video from Higgsfield Waste. I like Higgsfield. Dude, right now Higgsfield is putting out the best AI shit. It's insane. It's fucking insane. Like, we were talking the other night about what's it called? That Star Wars short, right? Because I showed you guys over on the other channel the Star Wars short, the Beggar's Canyon that guy did. And I wanted to show, let's see. I wanted to show you guys. I'm just going to bring this up again. I don't know, Sean, have you seen this yet? I know you're not big on the AI, but like, have you seen the Beggar's Canyon short film going around? Because this is fucking insane, right? This is insane. This is AI. That looks like Mark Hamill. It looks like Mark Hamill from 1980. A little bit of a, are people doing Indiana Jones shorts yet? No, they're not. They should though. What did you think of it? What did you think of it? I mean, like, you know, I watched Star Wars Theory's video on it because I was kind of curious his take on it, and that dude was like gooning in his pants. But the reason why I find it interesting, and this also kind of ties into the Filoni thing, has a lot to do with the fact that, like, this is what fans want, right? Like, I don't care what anyone really says. Okay, if you look at the view counts of this shit on YouTube, anything involving like the prequel trilogy, which appeals to like the Gen Zers and like the elder millennials, really, you know, or the millennials and Gen Zers. And then you apply like this kind of shit with the AI to like the, you know, this kind of shit. It's like, it's, you know, it's showing you where it's going. Okay, it looks amazing. The pacing is slow. The hold on shots was too long with the eyes up. Yeah. There was some, you know, to make it a little more, I would have made it a little bit more fast paced. But, you know, I got to admit though, man, that one transition from the book to the edge of the cliff or the edge of the caves was very Indiana Jones. And I felt like that transition was very Lucasfilm. And that's one of the things I liked about it. But when we're looking at this and we're looking at where the AI is going, right? And yes, it's not there yet, but goddamn, is it getting there? We already know Lucasfilm is experimenting with this. They've done it with you know, Mandalorian season 2, the Book of Boba Fett. We know that they did it with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And we know that James Earl Jones sold his voice rights to them to do this shit with. So, it's very much going to show you like where all this is going. Now, I do agree with Sean though here. The AI, just like VFX, can't get the mouth webbing correct when it talks. That is something that can be fixed. I think that can absolutely be fixed. It is maybe not 100% perfect, but they'll be able to like, I have a feeling what you're going to get is some shit mixed with like, you know, Unreal Engine, because like the video game side of things and how they match up some of that mouth movement, it's going to be like something. Well, you could also probably have a situation where someone does the mocap for the face and then, you know, and then they do everything else AI. So at least that looks fluid, but we're getting there. You might do a fan edit of Beggar's Canyon. Do it, man. Absolutely. Get your channel up. I mean, a fan edit of a fan film, you know, and no, but you should. You absolutely should. I don't even think the guy would be upset because I'm telling you this right now, and maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't. I don't know. But I think something like this is someone in the industry. It may not be a Lucasfilm employee, but I think some of this shit is very much being used as a way to, you know, to kind of make this stuff more palatable to people, for one, but two, to get the interest up and to get them to demand it. Now, I want to bring this up over here. So this was from the other night on, it's from last night, really, over on the Twits. So this guy here, Dan Star Wars Centralized, says it kind of sucks realizing that being anti-AI is the losing position and that the masses are consuming and adoring AI-generated Star Wars content and will watch AI Mark Hamill forever and love every minute of it, right? And it's like, what a bad take. So I'm like, the short was awesome. Blame Lucasfilm for not giving the fans what they want. And I think that's true, right? That's a big reason. But I want you to like, here you go, like Beggar's Canyon, okay? 181,000 views, been up way more since then. All right. All because they can't read. Never mind the fact that the fucking soundtrack from The Shadows of the Empire is in the short film. Like, what a fucking dipshit. Anyway, this is again, it's all cope. It's all fucking cope. People would rather see it live than, and also, by the way, Shadows of the Empire is not considered canon anymore. It's not considered fucking canon. But whatever. Okay, so we got this here, right? But look at this comment here, top one here. I'm 50, and watching this turns me back into that 11-year-old boy all over again. Bravo. Got here, a feeling I've not felt since. Okay, Warheight 3609. I'm 55 years old and experienced the launch of Star Wars in Germany in 1978. Seeing this video now fills my heart. Thank you so much. Okay, that wrecked pod racer half buried in the sand. Perfect detail and nod to Phantom Menace era nostalgia. Disney, stop screwing around. This is what the fans want. Give the guy a job and make the Luke Skywalker movies we've been asking for. Every kid who grew up with Star Wars would rush to the theaters for this, and that is accurate as fuck. If not for love and adoration of Luke Skywalker, it would be for morbid ass curiosity. Now, listen, the thing about this that we have to remember is that ultimately what the fans really wanted was Luke, Han, and Leia to appear together in the sequel trilogy. Why they chose to not do that, I'll never fucking understand. Why they chose to kill off Luke Skywalker after Carrie Fisher died, I'll never fucking understand. And I don't think they'll ever fucking explain. Okay. Like once you know the actress that's going to be taking over the lead of that particular character, of like who's going to be that legacy character lead in the third film, dies right at the end of production on that film, you know, and like you then go, well, you know, like, okay, or before that film, whatever, at the last film, and then you end that last movie by killing off the other character and keeping her alive despite the fact that she's fucking dead. So they have to Frankenstein a performance together using old shots to put it together to have that emotional crescendo, which, yeah, it worked fine. But at the same time, it just felt like so fucking whatever. Now, look, I do agree with Sean here. I would rather Sebastian Stan take over the role. Yes. I completely, you know me. I have been campaigning for that for quite some time. I do agree with the Sebastian Stan takeover. Disney's, or I should say Lucasfilm's reliance on AI and CG only really makes sense looking at the ethos of what the company is, right? So when AI first came out and people were freaking out about it, and they still have been, you know, some people said like George Lucas would hate this. And I'm like, George Lucas would love this. Are you fucking kidding me? Like George Lucas is one of the most future thinking filmmakers we've ever had. Okay, like him and James Cameron, guys, come on. And Cameron is all like, he's for it. He won't come out and fully admit it, but he's definitely for it. All right, like he wants there to be AI usage for Avatar in order to bring the fucking costs of the film down, probably so he can then finish them and not feel like, you know, he's got to have to like restrict his vision at all. So like it's just the weirdest shit. Well, Carrie's daughter would work if they just masked her face, you know? Let's see. I want to know how many prompts it had to make Beggar's Canyon. That Christmas Coke had was 70,000. It also used a variety of different AI models. But yes, I really want to know what they did with that. Now, I think that it's very much Higgsfield is the AI that they used. Maybe VO3. Those are the ones that could handle the type of the type of work that was in that. But I also feel, looking at that the whole thing wasn't AI. Like you go and you look at the pod race stuff, and the pod race stuff looks like it was another shot on another shot, right? It looks like it's got that setup, you know, or he's like, some of it feels like there was some traditional film that went, like some traditional editing tricks that went into this. It wasn't all just that. Lucas should have done the Heir to the Empire trilogy in the 90s. Lucas never liked the EU. Lucas never liked it. He tolerated it because it made him money, but he never viewed it as canon. He never did. So it's like if Lucas was still in charge, we never would have gotten Heir to the Empire, ever. It just wouldn't happen. The only reason why they're giving us Thrawn is because he was tied into Rebels, and they wanted to build up Rebels into the fucking live action universe. Like that's what they did. Lionsgate has already given up working on AI movies already after uploading the library into AI. They came to the conclusion it takes 7 years to make a feature film. See, here's the thing with that. They might, I don't think they're done. You don't just invest that kind of money, but they understand the limitations are there still. But keep in mind, they were working with Runway, and Runway is the one that's developing the technology. So, you know, they probably, they also may want to say that too, because I would argue that Lionsgate's in a bit of a precarious situation right now. I mean, they're going to have a good 2026 with with Hunger Games, and they got another film coming out in 2026. That's part of a franchise. I can't forget. I keep forgetting which one it is. And then also you're hearing talks of like a Twilight reboot. But the thing with Twilight is that was originally a Summit Entertainment production. And then Lionsgate bought Summit just so they could get Twilight. So, get triggered, EU fans. Yeah. He should have done EU. He never liked it. He never viewed it as canon. He never did. The Starving Games, directed by the Wayans brothers. Oh, yeah. Oh, so you're talking Scary Movie 6, right? Yeah. I am excited for Scary Movie 6. Anyway, my whole point for going and showing these particular these screenshots here has a lot to do with the fact that you can see that there's an audience for this. So then it basically puts the onus of that on the creatives to find a way to make it work. And is it going to be there yet? Oh God, no. It is. It's come a long way. And as much of a proponent of it as I am, I have never, ever said that it's there. I have never said that it's not a long way away. I agree with regulations, and I agree with paying likeness rights. I think people should get compensated, but the technology is there and we can use it so much cool shit. Now, do I think all of it's great? No. I really am not a big fan of what's been going on with Grok and the fact that it's like creating as much CP as it is. Fuck Jesus Christ. I would shut it down. I would absolutely shut it down. Because Twitter is rife with pedophiles and fuck that shit. I kind of wonder about people on there that are pro-conservative, because those are the ones that are usually pretty crazy about all that. I gotta wonder. One crazy guy out of Southern California, what's he doing to some alt account work? We know he's done alt account shit before. How much Grok propositioning is he doing? Can't find a girlfriend. Maybe he's getting Grok to make some, Dua Lipa shit. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit concerned about that, to be fair. Elon's dad was a PDF. That's true. He was. Oh, dude, have you not heard about Grok? Holy shit. Yeah. So Grok has the ability to edit images on Twitter. And as a result of that, you can ask for some pretty specific things. And some people are out there asking for, some pretty nar stuff. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can. I don't want to find it, but I want to find an example of something I can show you. So, let's see. Because there's a lot of craziness with Grok. Okay, here we go. Here, I'll show you. I can show you guys this. No, I can't. Well, hold on. It's not up there, right? Okay, good. Be careful, sure. Yeah. I got to, I typed in Grok in there, and this, the first thing I see is like a pair of tits. What is this here? The Woman of Grok Imagine. Someone, I can't blur this out. It's just all titties. Oh, what the fuck? No way. Hold on. I will post this in the chat for those of you who want to see this. I cannot show this. This is Grok spicy mode. I did not realize it went this spicy. That is hella spicy. I don't even, Jesus. Oh my God. That is a lot of titties. Wow. Okay. So I'm pointing out that there are a fair amount of things in this. Mostly it's just chicks rubbing their tits, but one is a woman fingering herself from behind. That's Jesus. Okay. Click that off. Oh my God. I'm trying to not get busted. Okay, I think I can show you guys just this screenshot here. Elon is a sick fuck. I mean, he didn't make it personally, but like he's not also stopping it. Okay, so this just gives you an idea of just some of the stuff that it can make, okay? Now what's really funny is this image right here with the castle. I believe that one's mine. Right? I did this one a while ago. I think that's pretty cool. I like it. This is from August. Okay? That one's mine. Don't know why that's there. Okay, but some of this other stuff not mine. You know. So I'm just showing y'all that it gets a little spicy. You got to be careful with that shit. It won't let you see the image unless you have the app. There you go. Yeah. He is enabling it. Throw my PC into the ocean. I haven't gone digging that far. Let's see. Command unit, what's up, man? I hope the drama makes people stop posting their images online. It's not new. Editing images has always been a thing for ages. It's not an AI specific thing. I mean, that is true. I think it's just the speed of which you're able to do it. You know, it's like the speed of it's the speed of it all. Is really what like is going on there. You know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of crazy. To like that you're able to pull it off that quick. And the fact that you can sit there and just edit it, you know, and just have it do literally like kind of like whatever you want is something that's like just opening the door for so much fucking shit. You know, because a lot of it is like, hey, Grok, put her in a bikini. And that's like a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's gonna cause people to stop sharing as much, you know, and that's a good thing. And then it's gonna get people to like be more what's the word I want to use here? It's gonna get people to be more, I think, pay more attention, closer attention, you know, and everything else. I just want to see cool fucking animated shit. That's more or less where I'm at with this shit. That's kind of what I've been into. Let's see here. Parallax said he can't remember any Avatar character names because it has no impact. What a troll. You know, whatever, man. He can just keep going back to watching, you know, Mid Nora with Midison. That's fine. But, you know, yeah. So there's a lot of fucking craziness going on with all. All right. What is this thing that Rational sent me? Okay. What did you send me? Oh my god, El Guapo versus the Narco Vampires. Oh, by George A. Gutierrez. Okay. Oh, okay. Is this a Kickstarter thing? Okay, I'll check that out later. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Oh, is this a thing from The Substance? Okay, so bring this up. All right. This is saying Higgsfield is not. All right. So Higgsfield. Just keep an eye on this one. This is the original. Sora's like AI TikTok. Yeah. Mid Nora. So by the way, Substance was my favorite movie of last year. Sorry, 2024. Love The Substance. Even though I felt the ending of that movie was kind of stupid, I still loved overall. Okay. It's like Sinners. I think the ending of Sinners, the last act was kind of dumb. Still like the movie overall. Let's see here. Okay. So this is. So wow. Basically, what this means is like you're going to be able to go in there and film something and then be able to use AI to create the aesthetic that you want, which basically means you know, it basically means that like this is going to change reshoots. This is going to change a lot of stuff. This is going to definitely allow for more continuity amongst the creatives. It's pretty cool. What's this here? Elon said anyone that does this will be reported to the local authorities and banned, though I also worry kids will use it and get arrested for IP spoofing or IP spoofing. Again, Elon likes to lie. If it gets people to sign up for his AI and he can use that to make money, that's what he wants. That's ultimately what he wants. You know what I mean? Like, I that's just where he's at with it. So it's really, I don't know where it's going to go, but there's just so much interesting shit that is happening with AI and film. And again, it's really about like what you're going to be able to do with it. What I am, apparently 1 hour ago, Tangled has found its Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. Okay. I'll take a look at this real quick. This popped up on IGN. So, let's see. Tangled live action movie finds its Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. Tegan Croft is going to be playing Rapunzel. Okay. Scarlett Johansson is no longer available to take on the role of Mother Gothel. She would do really well as Mother Gothel, and I think she needs to play a villain. But Gal Gadot could do it. I'm lying. She could not do it. Don't kill me, Joe. Actually, Crazy Joe would be like, she could totally do it. Let's see. Croft and Mannheim will step into the roles. Okay. Let's see. Mannheim is best known for his role as Zed in the Disney TV film franchise Zombies. All right. And what about Tegan Croft? Who is she? I don't know. The film will be directed by Michael Gracie, The Greatest Showman, produced by Kristen Burr, Freakier Friday Cruella, with a script by Jennifer Caitlin Robinson, Thor Love and... Okay, fuck. Now, look, I will say this about Thor Love and Thunder. Okay? Thor Love and Thunder was mostly killed by ad-libbing. All right? Okay? Okay? That's what it is. Okay? That's what it is. Who the fuck is Tegan Croft, though? Why is it Tegan Croft is like got no... let's see. Oh, she was on Titans. She's Australian. How old is she? Because Rapunzel's like 18, man. That's a big deal for that movie too. She's 21 years old. Okay. Let's see. I mean, she's got a little bit of that, like, what's her name? Jamie, not King. What's her name? I don't know. Okay. This is Rapunzel, huh? Yeah. All right. Give it a shot. Personally, I think if you're going to do it, do it with, Mandy Moore and Zach Levi, just do it motion capture. We need someone who looks like Cher to be Mother Gothel. So you mean Cher? I'd be down for that one. So, did I see that Warner Brothers said hell no to Paramount again? I did. They're going to do whatever they fucking can, man. They are going to do whatever they can in order to get it. Like, they've been sending out letters to shareholders offering like $30 a share. And a lot of people are just kind of like, nah, dog, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I don't need it. I don't want it. So, it's, oh man, it's going to be crazy. Cause like, what's going to happen? Right? Like, what's going to happen with all that shit? I don't know. I get a little bit worried about all of that stuff, but there we go. Agatha from Mother Gothel. I think that would be too close, man. I think if you're gonna do that, it's too close. It's just too close. I don't know. Agatha's great. What's her name? I'm blanking on her name right now. Let's see. Gal Gadot sounds natural and acts well when she speaks Hebrew. So I think it's just her accent that bothers people. She could use some English lessons. I actually don't have an issue with her. She's done some really good work. Okay. Her work as Wonder Woman, in Wonder Woman and Justice League, as well as BVS, was good. I feel like she can definitely, and then I even liked her in the Fast and Furious movies. The problem with her is I think look at Wonder Woman 1984. The script was terrible, and the Death on the Nile, the Kenneth Branagh. I mean, if that was the take they used, I would have probably fixed that take somewhere in post. But I don't think she's as bad of an actress as people. As people attack her for. Kal-El, no, I know. Isn't that from the reshoots though? I think that would be from the reshoots, kind of. So, oh no, real quick. Remember we were talking about the craziness on Grok? Oh my God. Yeah. It probably absolutely needs to be shut down. Check this out. It absolutely needs to be shut down. Billie Eilish. Look at new photo of Billie Eilish, and then put her in a Nazi bikini. Now put a MAGA hat on her. Have her doing a salute. Oh my God, that's gonna get people in so much trouble. Holy shit. I thought I got to it. Did you say? Oh, here we go. So what do we think of NVIDIA? I'm gonna get Nazi Billie Eilish off the screen. So what do you think of NVIDIA's AI project Ava, which Penguin Zero said was crap? Well, I'll tell you this right now. Look, I know a lot of people out there like Charlie. I could give a fuck less what he says. I don't know anything about the project Ava, but I'll look it up. I don't know anything about it, but I don't care when a content creator goes like, I don't like this. It's like, because at that point I ask a lot of questions like, why? It's slop, micro slop. It's fucking one of the dumbest terms ever. People are trying to make micro slop happen, and it's not going to happen. Let's see here. Project Ava. What is this one here? Hologram AI. Oh, Jesus shit. Okay. Oh, this came out of CES. Oh no, I don't want this. Shit. Hold on. I fucking closed out the goddamn the goddamn thing. Oh, God, I don't need a desk companion. Jesus. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Here we go. So this is the desk companion for Razer. By the way, I think Razer is shit product, by the way. I'm not a fan.
Wakey, wakey. Rise and shine. Morning, Joey. You were snoring again. Definitely wear your favorite green jacket. Look, now we're really vibing. Have a good day.
Hey, cutie.
Hi, Amanda. Great brainstorming last night.
Actually, I need more.
What if we flip the design here? Do you think it can work?
Nice. I think you're onto something.
Whole day, soldier. We need more air support.
Yeah.
Whoa, clean shot. Nice one.
Oof. Maybe aim for the head next time? Break line of sight.
Switch to burst fire mid-range.
GG. That was amazing. Ready to go again? This is Project Ava, your AI desk companion. Do you think they know we're actually calling the shots?
Nope. Let's keep it that way.
Kill me. Fucking kill me. See, look. Some people are going to really, really like it. What is this here? Motion background. Wow, what a weird thing to skip over to. That was pretty bad. That was not good. That was not good. Looks like he was right. Yeah, I'm not saying he was going to be wrong. I just say I don't give a shit what he thinks. I had to see it myself. Donovan's out there gonna grok Yahtzee, probably. Can this cringe any harder? Yeah. Yeah. Is that Soups? I don't think so. But he would. I guarantee you, Soups is the kind of guy that would have his own AI companion of himself, and then like viciously masturbate to it. That's what I think there. But anyway, I just think it's Jesus Christ. These fucking people. There's one video going on right now. I'll show you all this. There's one, what they got going on there that's more interesting, I think, is, let's see. I'm trying to find it here. Here we go. This is, what I think a lot of people are going to get their hands on. It's called the Handy 2. The Handy 2 Pro. This is a real device that's on display over at CES right now.
Yeah, this is exactly what you think it is. And you can overclock it once you consent to void the warranty. The Handy 2 Pro was just revealed, and not only can you customize the speed and stroke length, but you can also sync up with thousands of videos. We tested it with a safe for work video, and well, it's really in sync. What's crazy is that even though it can go pretty fast, you can push it into riskier speeds, but you'll be hit with this disclaimer, which will void the warranty if you want to hit speeds of up to 10 strokes per second. What? It can also sync up remotely, perfect for long distance relationships. The company also sells tons of accessories and a variety of silicone sleeves designed to simulate different sensations, of course. The Handy 2 Pro is available now for $499, and while that may sound like a lot, having a girlfriend or boyfriend could run you way more. Would you use one of these? Tag a friend who should. Yeah, this is.
I'm just saying. Listen, I prefer the old-fashioned way, but hey, listen. The Handy 2 Mo, this one's all for you, buddy. Go work some extra shifts, be able to afford it. What the hell? We're so close to Idiocracy. No, we're not. Idiocracy would never have a Handy 2. They would never have a Handy 2. Oh my God. I think it's really funny. But that is a real goddamn thing, guys. That's a real toy you can buy. $499. No, I'm good. You'll buy it for me. Matt. You didn't even get me arc raiders. All right. Like, I don't think you're going to spend $500 getting me a jerk off machine. Don't get me wrong. I would say thank you and maybe even send you a video. I don't know. But no, I wouldn't send you a video. I don't even know if I would be afraid to use it. Like, it seems really weird. Okay, maybe out of curiosity I would use it all, but I'll be honest about that. I can be honest about that. All right. Where are we? Oh man, I do got to start winding it down here pretty soon because it's already 1:30 in the morning and I have work tomorrow afternoon. I got to get the kids. But I did want to talk about, well, hold on here. What was I sent on there about video, another Higgs field? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so this is Higgs field AI. Is this the actual one? How am I not following these guys? All right, I'm following them now. Okay. Here we go. So this is Higgs field. Nano Banana Pro just got upgraded, introducing Banana in Paint. Draw a mask, swap outfits, restyle hair, change entire scenes, perfect accuracy, insane consistency. 67% off right now for like 9 hours. Okay, I don't even know. I haven't paid for this yet, but this is from about a month ago. So probably completely missed all that. Okay. So let's see. Is this is gonna get a little little intense, maybe. Hopefully not. See, I feel like it's not as good as that if you really mess with it. I haven't messed with Higgsfield. Higgsfield. Let's see. All right. What is Higgs? Okay, so do they have? Okay, so here's Higgsfield, their website. You have discover the projects and recreate it. Shrek gone wrong. We've looked at this one. Oh no! What is this? That Tom Holland? Tom Holland as Naruto. Oh no!
What will you do when those whose hearts have been taken over by hatred come for you?
I think maybe just talk to them.
So, let's talk.
If you walk into the darkness, I'll drag you back.
You're already too late.
You will lose everyone you love if you don't become stronger.
Our enemies have godlike power, so get on with it!
I never go back on my word. That's my ninja way.
What in the hell was that? There you go. Oh, that's Triggered Mo. All right. Triggered Mo. Again, that's just so wild that they're able to do that, right? That they're able to it's gotta be, I feel like it's gotta be fixed. It's gotta be fake. Here we go. Santa Hollywood. Did I already show you guys this one? Holy shit. This kind of looks like a bad Santa 3 type approach.
Merry Christmas.
Why they be down the board? Tell them it's part of the plan. I'm just a young adult feeding them slaps. The gains in the palm of my hand. They want me to play, this is personal. They sleeping on me, this is perjury.
You're late, Santa!
Christmas is dead.
I believe in you, Santa Claus.
You've saved Christmas 1,000 times.
You're not even real!
Maybe this time, let Christmas save you.
I'm Santa.
What the fuck is that shit? Yo. No, that's Fat Man. Fat Man is, I think, where's Fat Man right now? Is it on? I think it might be free on YouTube. I don't know how I feel about that, dude. I don't even know. You can't critique it if you haven't watched the series. What did I say about it? I haven't seen the series. I was like, all right. I haven't fucking said nothing. Shit. I can't believe that. That's fucking crazy. Blackpink rivalry. All right. There are other ones here. I don't know. They've probably done a lot. There's a lot that I've seen come out of Higgsfield, but it's kind of fucking funny. Let's see. Video. They got anything else here? This is all their editing shit. Cinema Studio. Or maybe it's in the community. Powered by Soul. Share your generations. That's creepy as fuck. With the skin peeled back. I mean, to be fair, way less nudity than you know. Oh God. Oh no. Maduro and Netanyahu. Jesus Christ. Was this one here? Cinematic medium shot of the female captain after a fierce space battle. Her face is smudged with soot. She looks exhausted but relieved. Her blonde hair is slightly messy. Her uniform is torn and scorched. Background, the spaceship bridge is filled with smoke, flickering red emergency lights, and sparks flying from broken consoles. High contrast, sweaty skin texture, dramatic atmosphere. I mean, yeah. All right. You know, but this is the image that it chose to build off of. So this one looks, you know, like this is a way better, more cinematic shot. Looks like Star Trek. Look at what I got mad into. No, I've already known about Higgs field. I just haven't gone and explored it. You know, there's a lot of crazy shit I watch on fucking Twitter. It's like, okay, notice. I just want to point out all the gooning, right? All the gooning. The gooning, so much gooning. Okay. Like so much gooning. And then they're going to be able to take this, put this on Twitter, and then have Spicy Grok do spicy things. You know? And that is like, that's why things are weird. And I don't like the spiciness of it. I mean, you know, consenting wise would be fine. But like a lot of this, like dude, Mia Khalifa, it's all in Russian. It's all in Russian, but it's Mia Khalifa. So it's just like, this is going to be it. And then they make fucking realistic voices, you know? And then you're going to have all these guys that are like never, ever, ever going to talk to a woman. You know? Like, it's just going to be one of those things that fucking happens. You're going to get a lot of guys that are going to be like, why talk to women when I can just make my own? Which is not good. So that's going to be a downside. But to be fair, this is a pretty based poster right here. Right? That's a pretty based image. Hold on, I'm gonna grab that and I'm just gonna fucking fix it in Grok. But yeah, where am I at? There we go. It is K. Is it K porn? If the kids aren't real, slippery slope. Okay, so the idea behind that, is here's my question: what is the training data for it? You know what I mean, right? Because I would feel that the training data used would be what the bad stuff is. But at the same time, if it's just attempting to like remove something as simple as clothing, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't trust it. I don't want to sit there and like give credence to anything like that. You know, I don't like the argument of like, well, if it's not real, then like, what's the harm? I think there's harm in it. I do. I you know, it's terrible. I don't like it. I do not like it. That is interesting. It's just like, I mean, it's such a weird, you know, it's such a weird thing. I'm just not a fucking fan of it. You know what I mean? Some people are totally okay with it. I don't know. That ain't me. That's not what I'm into. And, I feel like it's just such a goddamn slippery slope, you know? Elon will not ban it on his platform. No, but they're going to turn people in who fucking do it. People should stop posting pics of their kids. I know I don't share photos of my kids. I don't share photos of my kids. Lord knows I've dealt with enough crazy ass psychopaths. I don't need that. I don't need that nonsense in my brain. Or I should say, I don't need that nonsense around me at all. You know. Nor do I want to like subject my kids to that shit. Because my kids are too fucking cool, man. You know. There you go. So, all right. Okay, yeah, what was the last thing I wanted to touch upon? Oh, right. So there's this big thing going on today. There is this big thing happening with GTA 6 will get delayed again because, my friend, because of the economy. Droga, you have kids? I did not know that. Yeah, it's a good idea not to do it. Okay, so big event happening in the Stranger Things world. Trying to understand it a little bit here. So fans were thinking that today, the 7th of January, was going to show us a secret episode about the conformity gate. Okay, there's a big thing about this, right? Now, this is a fan theory that's getting a lot of attraction, I think, from the Bilers out there, the people who wanted, Will Byers and Mike Wheeler to get together, and they're really upset. Okay, so you had to think here. Many of the theories point to a master doc started by 21-year-old Jess on X under the username 67Gate. So there's that, right? Vecna's pose in graduation. Let's see here. Nearly every person in the graduation scene, including background characters in the bleachers, is seen sitting with their hands crossed the exact same way. Fans point out that Vecna's common pose, as shown when characters like Billy are under his possession. The number 12, people are seen wearing sunglasses. The Duffers t-shirt. You know what? There's a video on this. We'll just watch a fucking video instead. So this is a quick video explaining what it is. And obviously, it was nothing, but people are, fucking insane.
Happy Tuesday, my fellow strangers. This is Mrs. Strange, and on today's episode of Stranger Universe, I will talk about the rumored and ludicrous theory that there is a secret 9th episode for Stranger Things 5. But before we start, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Stranger Universe content. Follow up on our social media platform to stay updated with us every day. And now, let us begin. It has been nearly a week since Stranger Things concluded its run after 5 seasons, leaving fans divided and speculating about its true ending. The series finale sparked widespread debate and disappointment among some fans, with many disappointed with Eleven's fate in the epilogue. Some believe she sacrificed her health, while others, like Mike, maintain that she is still out there alive. This ambiguity has contributed to the show's very divisive reception, with the 5th season currently holding a 56% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. The controversy surrounding the finale has even sparked a fake ending movement dubbed Conformity Gate. What is Conformity Gate? It is a growing fan theory on social media suggesting the ending viewers saw in episode 8 wasn't the real one. In fact, some believe that the production actually shot a secret episode 9, and on top of that, it's going to come out tomorrow. Oh boy. Conformity Gate believers argue that the epilogue viewers witness at the end of season 5 is an illusion orchestrated by Vecna. They believe Vecna might not be dead after all. Fans have gathered evidence and shared their theories on social media, pointing to subtle inconsistencies that suggest the seemingly flawless resolution of the finale is a manufactured reality rather than the truth. One of the most discussed examples is the graduation scene at Hawkins High. In this scene, several students' hands are positioned in a distinctive manner that resembles Henry Creel's. Additionally, members of the Wheeler family, including Nancy, Mike, and Karen, sport shorter hairstyles that closely resemble Henry. Other details have only deepened the mystery. A blank yellow poster in the background, radio tower dials that shift colors between parts, and multiple boxes of the What's It board game scattered throughout the epilogue. Some fans have even analyzed the final shot of the neatly arranged Dungeons & Dragons books, claiming the spines spell out X-A-Lie. They interpret this as a message indicating that everything shown in Dimension X was precisely that, a lie. Theories speculate that the final episode of Stranger Things might be released on January 7th, 2026, because Netflix previously shared a cryptic post with the message, "Your future is on the way," accompanied by a January 7th tag. This led some fans to believe that the theory might be connected to the release date. January 7th is also notable because it marks Orthodox Christmas, which aligns with the pattern of releasing episodes on major holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. At the moment, neither Netflix nor the Duffer Brothers have confirmed the theory. My dear strangers, there's no secret episode, despite rumors suggesting otherwise. The production filmed 8 episodes with 8 scripts.
Okay, so I completely agree with that, right? So we have a general idea. So this girl's got 132,000 and still can't buy a decent microphone. Jesus Christ. Good gravy on that one there, man. I don't get why people don't fucking, like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's like, look, the ending of the show I thought was really good. Okay. I also came across this today. I just wanted to share. This is the future of Nancy Byers, by the way. This is what she does after dropping out of college. She's trying her darndest, I agree. But Jesus Christ, get a better microphone. Or at least turn down the gain. You know, it's so loud. So loud. But anyway, I just like this image of Nancy. I think she's funny as fuck. Yeah. So, what we are looking at, that's a nice half boob. Yeah, you can almost spot the nip, but I don't think the nip exists. It's just, polyp. So I don't... So after the events of Hawkins, Nancy Byers ends up traveling to fucking Mogadishu. It's just taking out terrorists. There you go. We'll call it Bambo. Or Nambo, right? Might be a little bit too close to Nambla. Maybe not a good idea. So, yeah. There's that. But, all right. I'm gonna go. It's 2:00 in the morning. I gotta go to the bathroom. Thanks, everyone, for hanging. I appreciate it. Again, I start my work week. So I will be back next week. Hopefully do some more movie stuff. This is fun. This was a good time. This is more fun than doing the other shit, So have yourself a good one, everybody. Thanks again, and peace out, y'all.